her heart chokes. Like Midas, everything you touch turns gold. You dance in the hallway like nobody's told. You say my name so softly, like it's a little word. Yeah, every time you're near me, all my doubts get blurred. You take my day, turn it bright, brand new. Every look you give says I choose you. I get you more than anybody ever could. You get me. In a way I never understood. And every little smile, every little move you do. Ooh, baby, I don't need a reason. I just know. I just know. I get you. Yeah, it's all about your dreams, eyes wide, shining clear. And you tell the wildest stories I could listen for years. And you roll your eyes and kiss me when I'm stubborn and proud. You pull me back to center when my thoughts get loud. You take my fear, turn it into truth. Yeah. Every time you touch me, I remember you. I get you more than anybody ever could. You get me, yeah. In a way I never understood. Every little smile, every little move you do. Ooh, baby, I don't need a reason. I just know. I just know I get you. When the world feels heavy on my shoulders, you lean in, lay your head right over mine. You say we can carry this together, and just like that, I'm fine. Oh, I'm fine.
Welcome to the show, everybody is Dee. I'm glad you're here, let's get into some things. I hope you're ready, cause this is what I do. It's all about different perspectives in here. Where you gon' get the real, no BS in here. We keep it real as we can. You can tell your truth and feel comfortable here. DeeDee's reactions, videos and live things. DeeDee's reactions, she's about to put on a show. These reactions, just to let you know, like share, subscribe, we about to go live. It's DeeDee's reactions, keep it real, keep it DeeDee's reactions. What you gon' do? DeeDee's reactions, we about to go live. Subscribe, we about to go live. It's DeeDee's reactions.
What up, YouTube? It's your girl, DeeDee. Welcome back to another live stream. I hope you guys are doing well. Listen, as you come into the building, make sure you hit the like button, hit the like button, hit the like button. Put a 1 in the chat quickly if y'all can hear me good. 1 in the chat if the audio is good. 1 in the chat if the audio is good. We gonna hop right into this thing. I hope you guys are doing well. Happy Tuesday. I hope everybody is well. Look, shout out to everybody in the building, everybody watching, everybody who supports the channel. I appreciate you guys so much. So as you come into the building, make sure you hit the like button, y'all. Hit the like button, y'all. What's going on? Night Call 411 in the building. Hustle the Great in the building. Lorenzo Redmond, what's going on? Says, what's your thoughts on the BT Awards? Ryan from the 8. Chris G77, Chaos God 1989. what's going on? I hope y'all are doing well. Shout out to each and every one of y'all. Make sure as you come into the building, you hit the like button. Speaking of the BET Awards, I only saw snippets of it. I don't really watch the BET Awards anymore. They've just gone downhill for me. But I did see a few of the highlights. I did like the Lauryn Hill tribute. Love the Lauryn Hill tribute. That was the best thing. That was the best part of the show to me. Even though I saw like the highlights of it, the Lauryn Hill tribute, I did enjoy that. But I don't really watch the BET. And I was an avid watcher of the BET Awards at one point, years and years and years ago. And I just kind of slacked off because it just wasn't hitting the way it used to. I'm not into it anymore. But I did enjoy the Lauryn Hill, what is it? God damn. Oh, have mercy. The Lauryn Hill tribute. I did enjoy that. So, and me and Lauryn Hill share the same birthday, y'all. Same birthday. And so that's cool to me. But yeah, I love that. That was about it. Happy Tuesday. I hope y'all are doing well. Nas, oh my God. I love Nas. I'm just saying. I don't really care too much for Jay-Z, but I love Nas. That's okay. That's just me. I'm not all deep into it, but I love Nas. The whole Lauryn Hill tribute was amazing. I did love that. But we gonna get into this whole Druski situation. Y'all, Druski is funny as hell to me. He got a lot of backlash from this whole BET Awards skit that he did, and people didn't like that he was hosting the BET Awards. But I think he's funny as hell, and I think the reason why a lot of people don't like his take on things is because it's offensive in their mind. It's funny, but it also tells some truth. This man that covered, and he does not discriminate. He's covered Erica Kirk, child. He has covered the African scammers. I didn't get that one, but I didn't get it in this particular clip that I'm gonna show you guys. But he's covered African scammers, Erica Kirk, these pastors. Now he's done Jay-Z. He did Joe Jackson and the Jackson Child, which, a lot of people don't like it. And once again, he's done these Marvin Sapp, these pimping preachers, these pastors who getting all this money, who are very popular. He's called them out, all the things that they do. He just parodied it. And a lot of them are mad because there's some truth behind it that they probably don't want people to focus on because it points out some other stuff. But I think he's hilarious. He's done Rednecks. This dude has covered a lot. And I find it hilarious. That's just me. But they didn't particularly like it when he brought some of his same, spoofs and stuff to the BET Awards. They didn't like it. And so, and they're saying that he shouldn't have hosted. But I want to go ahead and play this clip of a little bit of what I'm referring to, and y'all let me know what y'all think. Do y'all think Druski is funny? Did you see the BET Awards, and did y'all like the way he hosted it? Let me know in the comments below. Make sure you hit the like button, y'all. Make sure if you are new to the channel and you like the content, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. It's free to subscribe, and don't forget to support the channel via Super Chat or Cash App, you guys. And also hit the like button, hit that notification bell so that you'll be notified when I go live or post new content. But let's go ahead and get into this video. Here we go.
Let's go! Give us some praise! What goes up must come down, amen.
So we are raising funds for a project in Zimbabwe. Amen. We wanted to raise $4 million for that. Amen. Hallelujah. That needs to appear today. We are not letting anyone leave until we reach out.
Black man!
Black man.
That's right!
That's right.
That's right!
That's right.
That's right!
That's right.
You celebrate Christmas, don't you, brother? Yes, you do. And it's a white holiday.
White holiday.
Come on, boy! What's up, kids? Let's learn our ABCs.
Come sing along with us. A is for apple.
Apple.
Good job, Phil. Good job.
Put that default. What you gonna put that default?
Damn, where the weed at?
I promise you to God that. I promise you to God.
Get on your feet.
You're growing closer to Jesus.
I serve a righteous God. And that is why we say our prayers. And we are all his children.
Somebody in the congregation.
Let me just say this. Baby, that Erica Kirk impression was funny as hell. Sometimes I wonder who does he have doing? He must have the best of the best doing his makeup and setting it, because he'd be spot on. Baby, that Erica Kirk impression, I ain't gonna lie, when I first saw it, I was weak. I was weak. And then the redneck one, I'm like, God damn, how does he do it? Like, I think he's talented, honestly, and we should see more of him. I'm just saying. And a lot of the people who are mad about it is because they don't like what he's saying and they don't like the impressions. And you know, they want to try to find something wrong with it. But I didn't see anything wrong with it. I'm just saying, let's continue.
That's why I'm wearing Christian Dior and Christian Louboutins. Because I'm a Christian and I walk in the blood of Jesus. Give him some gold, amen.
Got so many stars in the building whose net worths are blessed and who God has ordained to bless me. Put Tyler Perry net worth up there. Oh my God. Stevie Wonder in the building. Put his net worth up there. $200 million.
I got teardrops on my face for the ones I lost. Yeah, I still get it back, and I'm getting it back, Lord.
Baby, I'm telling you right now, I don't give how you ask. I'm in the buying flights, buying ice, and buying bags.
Proud of me, but I'm the pride of we. You ain't gonna get a call from me just to talk to me. How about New York?
Untold story of Joe Jackson.
But we just want to play with the other kids.
You ain't regular kids, man.
Didn't I tell y'all? Practice the steps. It's step.
Man, I thought it was step.
No, my bad. I've been drunk.
This should have been my gig. Why the hell would they have you host? And this is the problem. With BET. They be tripping.
Receiving the Icon of the Year award, Miss Tiana Taylor. Gonna get impregnated with the word of God.
Listen, that was just a little snippet of it. I didn't want to put too much, you know. But baby, he impersonated Jace. I mean, it was hilarious, you know. And so while I can get the humor, I understand it. Some of y'all may get it. A lot of people did not get it. A lot of people, you know, were saying, and I kind of just wrote that it was tasteless. They were saying that he was not funny. A lot of people were just saying in general that the BET Awards are not the same, and I don't believe that they are, but I think he kind of brought something to it. You know, like I said, I haven't watched it in years, but I did watch a little bit of this year and a little bit of Druski, and also, you know, some highlights of it, which I thought were okay. Once again, a Lauryn Hill tribute to me was the best thing out the whole entire show. For me, it's just the artists a lot of the artists that they have on there are not artists that I'm into anymore. Like back in the day, like years back, there were, you know, relevant artists and artists who actually, I don't know, had talent. I don't know. I think it's just watered down. And last year was trash. And this year it wasn't really that great. So I don't know. They need to do something to try to boost the ratings and boost it up. And I don't know. I think Druski brought something to it. As much as backlash as he's getting, I do think he brought something to it other than what it was given. I think they, you know, so I don't think he was horrible. And I think the skits are funny in my opinion. A lot of people are saying that Kiki should have hosted the show. And I thought she hosted it one year. I'm not sure. But they're saying they thought she should have hosted it. But a lot of people are just saying he is just not funny at all. I don't know. I'm just not into and somebody says the Kiki skit looked planned. Yeah, I think the Kiki part was a part of the skit. It really was. And I think a lot of people missed that. But I do believe that the Kiki part was a part of the skit. All of that was planned. But people are in their feelings and they don't like what he's doing. And they're adding the political aspect to it because of the Erica Kirk situation and calling it he's doing whiteface or whatever. I don't know. It was a lot of controversy behind him doing that. But I just think he's spot on with it. And they don't have a sense of humor. You don't like it because it's spot on. I don't understand. He didn't do anything crazy. He didn't say anything wrong. I thought he added a different element to the BET Awards, in my opinion. And I do like his comedy. I think he's funny as hell. And I think he's controversial because he adds truth to it. And what he's saying, he's only copying what he saw. It's not like he's making anything up or adding or taking away from it. He's presenting it the way it's presented. When that man said, close the doors, remember that? Close the doors. He may close the doors. Y'all ain't leaving out here until we get this money. Okay? This is why I call them pimping preachers, because y'all are pimping these people out of their money. And you saying close the doors and nobody ain't gonna leave, baby, that's something else. That's not the churches that I remember growing up in or being a part of. Like at some point, I don't remember the pastor saying close the doors and y'all ain't gonna get out of here until we get this money. What kind of church is that? So, I mean, it just points out the hypocrisy. It points out the foolishness that's going on in churches these days and all realms of what's going on. He's just pointing out what's going on in a comedic way. And a lot of people don't like it. So, you know, I'll never forget close the doors. Because what do you mean, close the doors? I said this before. I wish me and my husband was in there, baby. You could close the doors all you want. We was getting the hell up out of there. Ain't nobody but stop us. I'm just saying. Close the doors. That's the time for me to go. I know you didn't. You threatening the people to pay to give you some money? Are you that behind? Are you in that? That's what I'm thinking. Like, why don't you go and ask Jesus for the money? This is the part I don't understand about churches, and this is why a lot of people don't patronize the church anymore, because they're hypocrites. They walk around here getting rich off these people, and the majority of the congregation is poor. The majority of the congregation is poor, and these pimping pastors are getting rich off these people, and people are starting to realize it. And I just think it's one of those areas where people are smartening up and realizing this is some foolishness. Not everybody gonna get it. Now, you still gonna have the ones who gonna be sitting there saying, yes, a pastor. Yes, a pastor. I need to give my money to the pastor because pastor knows what's right. You still gonna have people who are just gonna be stuck in it no matter what. But then when other people realize this is a sham, a scam, and it ain't really what we need to be doing, they try to walk away, and now they forced to beg and threaten you to give your money. Like, that's crazy to me. That's crazy. You want to, and part of the skit that Druski did was, we need $4 million and we need it today, child. We need it today. Like, damn. So what? What in the world? These pastors have gotten spoiled, and they're entitled, and they're entitled to your money because you keep them afloat. The congregation is who keeps them driving their Bentleys and driving their planes and flying their planes and doing all this stuff. They keep them afloat. The minute the people wake up, if all the congregation walked up out of their church and stopped giving, they're going to suffer. Now, they've already collected millions and millions, so they're going to have to reconfigure that and figure out another way. But at the same time, they need y'all to keep up the charades. They need y'all to wear them red bottoms. And half the congregation probably don't wear red bottoms, can't afford red bottoms. But the pastor could off of your money. So, yeah, they don't want to bring attention to that. And I think part of the skits, even though it's comedy, it brings forth a level of truth that they don't want to focus on, because that'll wake people up and make people realize something that they, that what cause that, that business to fail, because church is a business, in my opinion, child. Anyway, but once again, there are people who you can never get through to. They're going to just be there to the end. And that's they can choose that if they want to. But a lot of people realize what it really is, and they don't want no parts of it. And you have a right to not want no parts of something that is just scamming you, because that's what a lot of them are. That's what a lot of them are. And guess what? It's not, Chris G says, dope intro song. Thank you, Chris. I appreciate you. Thank you for the, thank you. I appreciate it. What else I was about to say? Yeah. And listen, and there are some good churches out there, I will say. Usually, from what I've seen, the churches that are more, that really help people and really are sincere and just really out here about the right, they usually are smaller churches. It's not typically those big mega churches. It's usually the smaller churches who are not solely there to profit off of the people, but that actually give it, pour into the communities and help the communities and do, what they say Jesus would have done. There's some small churches that do that, but it's not a whole lot of them. And it's typically these big mega churches. They are mega churches because they're benefiting and profiting off of those people in those communities. And they're just taking the money and funding their lifestyles and their children's lifestyles. And while the majority of the community of the church that helped build them up are suffering. You know what I'm saying? So, everybody's not going to get it, but some do. One of the most favorite internet shows. Thank you, Box Benji. Thank you so much. I appreciate you for that. Thank you. And thank you so much for being here. I appreciate y'all. Lauryn Hill always late. Oh, child. This is why I dread going to a Lauryn Hill concert, because Sister Girl be showing up late. Sister Girl got an attitude, but she is super talented. Lauryn Hill, how many albums? Does this lady only really have one album? How many albums does she have? Listen, I love her music. I love her music, but I don't know. I'm not deep into celebrities like that, but I love her music, and I love the music that I am aware of. But does she only have one album? Because this is crazy. This lady, if she only has one album, I'm always shocked when I hear people say that. I think I've heard people say that. Is that true? She's super talented, I will say, but she be late for them concerts, and they say she got an attitude out this world, child. And she is a Gemini, and they say Geminis are mean as hell. Me and her share the same birthday, I will say, but I'm not that mean. I'm not comparing, child. But I know she is super talented. Love her. I've always loved her. I loved her in Sister Act and the things. And also too, there was like the tribute where they brought out the I saw the girl from the people, some of the people from the movie Sister Act singing in the tribute. Oh my God, I thought the tribute was amazing. I will say that. So that was my best part about it. Yeah, the Druski tore up the black church. Do you think Keke Palmer was out of pocket? No, I don't. Because I think it was a part of the skit. Lorenzo, I think it was part of the skit. I think they probably knew people wasn't gonna like the fact that he was hosting because they already had an axe to grind with him since he did all of those other skits on the black church and stuff. So people and it's BET, so it's black people. So they already had a problem with him going, making jokes of the black church, making jokes of Kurt Franklin and all of those people. So of course they already knew that. So it was part of the skit. To say it that way. That's why people were clapping so hard when she said it. It's because they knew that people wasn't going to like it, and they still allow him to host. So it was all a part of it. Because listen, Druski has a huge following. So if BET hired him to be the host because they knew that would probably have potential, could potentially bring in new viewers. They know what they were doing. They understood the backlash, but they understood the potential gain from it as well. So these people are in business. A lot of people the spectators and the people that are watching have opinions and getting their feelings, but at the end of the day, it's business. It's all about what's selling, what's popular, what's going to bring in more business. You know what I mean? So at the end of the day, they didn't have no problem with what he did because they wouldn't have had him host the show if they did. So clearly, what he brings to the table is much more feasible and important than the feelings of some. You know what I mean? So, yeah, I mean, shoot. Yeah. Oh, he was dead serious about closing doors? He sure was. He was dead serious, baby. I say, that would have been the cue. Okay, baby, let's get the hell up out of here. Hell no, you're not going to try to... What you trying to do? This is some gangster shit in the church? Like, are you going to try to, make... Hell no. These pastors are pimping gangster preachers. Close the doors. He said, yeah, he was serious. Close them damn doors. He could have might have closed the goddamn door. Lock them in. We ain't letting these ninjas move until we get this paper. That's he might as well said it like that. Girl, wait a minute. Hell no. The mega churches is what people crave for. I don't know why successful MD. Why Officer Tatum keep popping on my feet? Child. Officer Tatum, Lord have mercy. What's going on, Frank G Life? What's going on, Shamari Fears? Yeah, for sure. I mean, listen, it is what it is. People only get mad when there's truth to it. If he was joking and doing that for anybody else outside of him, they wouldn't be mad. So yeah, bottom line, there were people who were saying they didn't like him hosting the BET Awards. That was the backlash. The backlash was that some people are saying they didn't like Druski at the award show that it was tasteless. He was not funny. So they were saying they didn't like him hosting the award show. But a lot of people probably do like it, and I'm one of them. I had no problem with what he was doing. This is what he do. So it was no problem. All right, y'all, let's move on. I want to move on to the next clip. Let me know what y'all think in the comments. Make sure you guys are hitting the like button, y'all. Hit the like button. Also support via Super Chat or Cash App, you guys. That definitely helps the channel to grow. So make sure you're supporting in that way if you can. I'm going to go ahead and pull up this next clip because I thought this was very interesting. There's this video that's all over social media, y'all. And it's all over TikTok where this young man is exposing his mother. He's basically exposing what his alleged deadbeat mom. He's basically talking about his upbringing, and the mom herself ended up responding to this. So I want to play I want to play a few of the clips of him talking about this, but I want to, there's a reason I want to address this, and I'll tell you guys why, because I do think this is important. While y'all know how we always, people always want to point out deadbeat dads. That's a common thing for most women to talk about. Most women, when we hear them speak, they all typically are baby mamas, and they always talk about the deadbeat fathers walking away and You know what I'm saying? Not owning up to their responsibilities, but we never talk about the deadbeat baby mamas. We don't talk about the flip side of it when that reality exists as well. This is why I say the narrative, if we just go with it, you know, the narrative would be that all the men are just the deadbeats and all the women are these super saints. These women are these beautiful creatures that do no wrong, and it's always the man's fault. These men come into these women's lives and strip them of their happiness and tear them down and take everything from them while giving them 3 and 4 babies, as if there was no other side to it, as if the woman didn't, you know, she had no consent or she didn't contribute in no way. It's always the men coming into these women's lives, tearing them down, you know, making them masculine, making them these evil creatures as a result of the man, and never point to the women who are already out of pocket, already these deadbeats, already these women who have not prioritized the right things. They are doing all of the wrong things, but that is never the point at hand. It's never any accountability on the woman's part. The narrative is to put the man down, trash the man, make it seem as if he's always bad and he's always contributed to something bad, and the women are just always good. And that's a problem. That's a problem. And we're going to talk about it. But let's go ahead and get into this video. Here we go. Hit the like button.
But I remember when I was little, my mom, she used to be like a video vixen or whatever. She used to like date rappers. Whole time she was just getting fucked on by these niggas. They wasn't even really dating her because they never claimed her. She used to go backstage and stuff like that. I remember we walked through this long ass venue. It was a bunch of people on stage doing concerts and stuff like that. We walked all the way to the back, and I guess it was like Ludacris backstage shit where she was dating Ludacris at the time. We go back there, she see the nigga, and then we leave. And then it was the same situation where she was dating T.I. We went to Cascade for King's birthday. We went to the back to see King open his presents and stuff like that, and then we left. She didn't even buy us skates or nothing. And what's crazy is T.I. bought out the venue. We could have got skates for free. It's just the fact that she was showing us off like a purse because she looked so young that she had to prove to the niggas that she was fucking, that she had kids so she could get more money out the niggas, and she wasn't even helping us with the money. Wasn't even paying bills or nothing like that with the money because my stepdad was paying the bills, but he wasn't staying with my mom because she would force him to stay with his mom or stay wherever he was staying because she didn't want him staying in the house so she could fuck other niggas. Really, she was cheating on him with my dad while my dad was cheating on my stepmom, and then he would drive all the way 12 hours to come fuck my mom and then be bullshitting and stuff like that, where they was emailing back and forth and shit, talking about they was finna get married, and my stepmom caught their goofy ass. And then they ended up having to fall out and stuff like that because of my stepmom, because he had to get his shit together. Whole time, she's still doing this shit back and forth with these rappers and stuff like that behind my stepdad back while he paying her bills. And she leaving, doing red carpet events and shit like that. I don't know what the fuck she was explaining to him, but we was at the house by ourselves where he couldn't come watch us and shit like that because she didn't want him to know what he was, what she had going on. So we would literally be at the house by ourselves. Me, my brother, and my sister just sitting in her bed crying, waiting for her to get home. And this bitch on planes going across the country, doing red carpet events, meeting up with Gucci Mane and fucking T.I. and all these people, where I remember at one point in her life, she was just a fucking threesome for T.I. and Tiny, where she was going out her way to get fucked on by these niggas. And then she had Bow Wow friend Cleo, the nigga from Hole, Zero. He had took me to Chick-fil-A and gave me a Chick-fil-A sandwich and shit like that, told me that I need to be a better kid for my mom because she trying so hard. No, the fuck she not. This bitch is giving out coochie. That's all she was doing. That bitch wasn't doing shit for her kids. That bitch was going out her way to have fun and give out coochie to niggas so she could have money and have all this shit because she was pretty. And then I remember it was a time where she brought us around Gorilla Zone and shit like that and was trying to introduce us to this nigga, and we didn't know who he was. So she had to apologize to the nigga because she felt bad that we didn't know who the fuck he was. I'm like, bitch, nobody give a fuck. We need our mom. We want you to take care of us. Fuck is wrong with you? Bro, y'all keep asking me about my mom and shit.
Now, let me just pause for a second. Now, this is his story, right? This is his recollection of what happened when he was a kid, allegedly. I'm going to say allegedly because that's his story and I'm replaying it. So allegedly, this is his story. This is what he recalled. This is what he remembers growing up. His mom, of course, is going to have a different take on it, as they tend to. you know, and this is sad. It's all sad, but I will say that this is all too common. It is all too common where, you grow up in a toxic environment. You grow up in you have a toxic upbringing with your mothers. And this is something a lot of men and women don't want to tell because they don't want to offend their mothers. But this is a common story amongst children who were raised by single mothers. And now you could have been raised in a family with a mom and a daddy and you have some toxic stories too. Now, I'm not saying that doesn't exist, but there's a lot of these stories that are all too common in our communities or just in general. But it ain't just in the Black community, it's in general, where you were raised by a toxic single mother. And these are the stories that you're supposed to hush hush about. These are the things that as a grown-up, you're not supposed to talk about. You're supposed to keep a facade as if your mother was the best mother ever. And I'm speaking from experience, okay? Where I recall a lot of things in my childhood that I should not share and should not talk about because it makes the mother look bad. And as the child who's experienced that and going through it, you're supposed to act as if it didn't exist. You're supposed to be quiet about it. You're not supposed to have any feelings about it. Because you're supposed to just act like, tell this lie, because as they get older, they have revisionist history where they only remember certain shit. They don't remember everything, and they don't want to, and they want you to think the same. They want you to be hush hush. They want you to pretend and put on this facade the way they do. They want you to say, oh my God, my mom was so great. She did the best she could. You have to keep the lie up. And that's something that I refuse to do. Okay? I don't do it. And it's because it's almost like a I don't know. It makes you feel like you didn't experience what you experienced. It's almost like it's an insult to injury to you because you had to go through some things that you shouldn't have gone through at the hands of your mother. But now that they're older, because they want to forget, they want to block it out because they turn Christian, right? You Christian now. So, you got to throw away the past, and everything that you did doesn't matter, even though it's affected the children that you brought into this world. But you were the Christian greatest person alive. You supposed to sit there and agree with that? No, that's an insult to the child and the mental stress and anxiety that the children had to suffer. The children are the ones who suffer from this behavior. And they just dismiss you like it was nothing. That adds to your trauma. So now you got to go through therapy. You got to recollect. You got to get yourself together. And they walking around like they did nothing wrong. No, I don't think that's fair. I don't think that's fair. I think they need to be held accountable. They need to they need to reconcile with their issues and their past and the things that they did, because the children have had to suffer. And if you care about your children, y'all should go to therapy together. Hell, go to therapy together. Try to figure out, you can't change the past, but you can certainly acknowledge it and acknowledge that you didn't know what you was doing. You made some bad decisions, and as a result, your children suffered. So let me try to help my kids because they're dealing with the aftermath of my foolishness. That's something they need to do, and they don't want to do it. A lot of these single mothers or parents or whoever they are want to act like the shit didn't exist, and they want to move through life like they've been perfect their whole lives while the children are suffering as a result. And so then wonder why the children don't want to fool with you and wonder why y'all don't have a relationship. Why? Because of you. But they're in denial. It's a real thing. And I don't give a damn what nobody say. It's a real thing. And a lot of these old chicks who raised these kids and did the most are in denial about it. They don't want to accept it. And you just want to brush the children off like they're crazy and like they don't know what they're talking about. But a lot of these cases, these children do know what they're talking about. And they're just trying to hide their dirty hands, trying to hide what they've done in the past and act as if it doesn't have any consequences, and that your children are the direct consequences of your poor decisions. So no, I don't ignore that. And there are a lot of people in my generation and others who are dealing with this very thing. And when you find I've heard men on this panel say they didn't have a good relationship with their mothers because of this very same thing. They don't watch men coming out in and out the house. These women are out here just loose and promiscuous as can be, screwing Tom, Dick, and Harry, Pookie, Ray, Ray, Ronnie, Bobby, Ricky, and Mike, Donald Trump, everybody. And then when they get old, they act like, oh my God, I was the best mother ever. I did all the best I could for my child. Lies. Goddamn lies. So I don't know. This his story. He's telling it. I just know that it exists. And a lot of these women are in denial because they don't want to own up to their truth. You was running around screwing everybody in your youth, having all the fun you want in the name of promiscuous sex. And you put your children on the back burner. They weren't your responsibility. A lot of these women have never been married. Why? Because they wasn't thinking about marriage. You were screwing everybody you can in the name of fun, having fun in your 20s. And then you had these kids and you weren't a responsible parent. Just be honest about it, because your kids are the ones suffer. I've heard these stories all too many times. So when I hear stuff like this, it resonates because I grew up in it. And I tell you, they get old and they forget. They don't want to tell the truth. And as a child who had to experience certain things because of it, I know it all too well. And I will never sit down and accept that. And oh my God, no, I could still love you and have love for you, but I'm not going to be in denial and act like you didn't experience the things you experienced to the fact of them doing what they're doing. That's why you got to be careful bringing children into the world and into this chaos and this toxicity. You got to be careful with that, because a lot of these women, once again, they want to act like they're so perfect and they don't make mistakes, but you got 3, 4, 5, 6 children by different men. Why? Because you was out there humping and grinding all over the place. You wasn't focused on no children. You don't have a husband because you wasn't focused on one. You didn't want a husband. You wanted to hit the streets and raw dog. And that's what you did. And you brought children into that chaos. And now you act like you don't know what the hell happened, child. Period. I'm not, no. So, when I hear stories like this, I don't just completely dismiss them, because I know there'll be a lot of truth to it. And not specifically just his story. There are a lot of people who can say the same thing. So this is not uncommon. I'm just saying. It's not uncommon at all. At all. What's going on, Fatty? Hey, Fatty. How are you? Shout out to Team Fatty, you guys in the building. Thank you so much for being here. I appreciate you, Fatty. How you been? Let's continue.
So I'm finna tell y'all more stories. Man, it's too many of them bitches, so I'm finna just start off with one of them hoes.
Child.
All right, I remember one day I was sleeping. I was scared of the dark when I was little. So I was sleeping in my sister's room. I ended up getting my ass whooped out my sleep, where I just woke up and my mom was hitting me. And then she dragged me down 2 flights of stairs. And then she dragged me past the front door into the hallway by the laundry room. She picked me up by my neck, and my feet was off the ground. My head was touching the wall. She was choking me out until I couldn't breathe. And then she dropped me and told me that I needed to do my chores, talking about why is there dishes in the sink and why is there laundry in the laundry room. I think I was like 5 or 6 years old or something like that. I didn't even know how to do laundry. She never even taught us how to do laundry. Mind you, we never even learned manners and shit until I went to my stepmom's house. Like, we was just chewing with our mouth open, putting our elbows on the table, doing stuff like that. We're like, I remember my stepmom even taught us when we get out the shower to step on the towel so that we don't get the floor wet and shit, because we just used to leave the floor wet, and she got tired of that shit. But I remember I just sat there all night crying because I didn't know how to do laundry. So I just sat there folding the laundry after I got done doing the dishes, and my mom just went to sleep and then woke up in the morning and acted like everything was normal. And I just had to deal with that shit. There was nothing that I could do. I couldn't go back to sleep. I couldn't get up and go to my room, because I feel like if she would have heard me walk up the stairs, she would have choked me again.
Y'all on my video trying to side with my mama and shit like that. I just seen that there's a bunch of fat, ugly hoes siding with her because y'all think she pretty. Y'all think she gonna do something for you. She is not finna eat your pussy because you on here making it seem like you need to hear both sides of the story. I already told my side of the story. How the fuck is you gonna hear her side of the story when she the one who traumatized me? What do you need to hear from that bitch other than sorry and an apology and shit like that? You ain't hear none of that come out that bitch mouth. She is not taking accountability for the shit that she did or the shit that she put us through. Just because y'all trying to hear her side and talk about trauma that she went through, she gave that nigga money that she had trauma from. The man that affected her and shit like that, my granddad, she gave him money and did what she needed to do to decide with him and shit like that, to where then they reconciled they shit. She never reconciled with her kids. Fuck is you talking about? I'm finna block all you hoes.
Hey, everybody. I'm the mom.
Okay, so this is the mother, right? This is the mother. This is part of the videos that she posted. She posted several videos, but this is one of them. Her responding to what the son had to say. Now, in this particular video, the comments they wasn't hearing it. In some of the other videos, I think they were taking her side, but in this particular video clip, they were saying, we believe the son. We see why he's saying what he was saying. So y'all let me know what y'all think. Let's continue. Hit the like button, y'all. Hit the like button. Hit the like button. Hit the like button. Here we go.
A lot of you are looking for, it's like thousands of you looking for me, I guess for the past couple days. I wasn't aware until just recently. It's come to my attention that you all have met my son. What a joy, right? This situation ain't funny, but the hilarious part of it all is I've never seen a young man who's almost 30 years old be this consumed with his own mama's and what he'll be doing and not doing. It's crazy to me. I can see if he came on here and talked about himself and trauma, then I wouldn't even have to make this video. But it's so strange that so many of you over 30 don't think for yourselves and believe most of what this young man is saying. I guess that's how our president got into office, because that's the only thing that makes sense. Some folks just go for anything. Maybe y'all so miserable out here that you just need anything to attach to and ride out with it. First, I want to address the women making videos about me. None of you know me, and you don't even know this story. You don't know half of it, not even a part of it, because my son is not telling the whole truth. Yeah, you guys decided to go out and make videos against me before you even know if your sister was guilty or not. You just, fuck it, we finna roll the dice and just get our clout, get our likes and views. Cool. You can do that off of my integrity and the hurt that I feel from all of this. That's cool. Y'all have a right to do whatever you want. So this is me giving.
But if she has hurt from all of this, shouldn't he have some? I mean, what he's saying completely untrue? Now, I can understand if somebody is over exaggerating. If you're saying, oh, he's over exaggerating, but is what he's saying? It's a lot that young man is saying, and I'm not taking no sides because I don't know none of these people. But if he's coming to social media and he's telling that this could be the outlet for him to tell his truth. How is it? Is it completely should we completely dismiss it the way? I don't think she would want people to completely dismiss her side. So why should we completely dismiss his side? If he's telling a story, and he's very clear on it. He doesn't seem like he's lying and stuttering. It's coming out very clearly and easy. Typically, when that happens, there may be allegedly some truth to what the person is saying. The way there may be some truth to what she's saying. So should we completely dismiss him? Is what he's saying is a complete lie? Because if somebody is making up something that's complete, that'd be the first thing I would say. That's a complete lie. None of this happened, and I can show proof. So, just like you don't want people to dismiss what you have to say, why should we just dismiss what he's saying? Is there some truth to it? Is he completely lying? He just sat down and made all this up? Let's continue.
My version, from my perspective, before I get started with this long rant, I want to say that the things that my son did go through that are true, that he's not talking about, were traumatic. Our family has gone through tragedy after tragedy after tragedy. So the things that did happen to my son, I do not demean or minimize. What he went through and what he felt is real, and how he was affected was real. But what he's telling y'all is bullshit.
So what did he go through then? So you acknowledge he went through something. What did he go through? So you don't, so okay, all right. So it's not a complete lie. Let's continue.
This is what we need to get into. I get that everybody's looking for clout. Everybody's looking for attention right now. But I want to apologize to the people who are trauma bonding with my son on subjects that he's never experienced. Yet you're giving him feedback because you actually did experience it. And I'm sorry that you were manipulated and gaslit into thinking that y'all shared the same troubles. Because some of you, and I'm seeing what you're writing, is not what he went through. You would think a young man of almost 30 years old wouldn't have time to talk about things that were years ago. Most of this that he's speaking about is from 10, 20, 30 years ago. He wasn't even around. And some of it is from when we stopped talking in 2022. So just to update everybody, nothing has happened to my son between me and him for any of this to go on. He tricked me into reaching out to me this year, pretended that he wanted a relationship so he could manipulate and hurt me, and try to get me into a spell that would cause me to have an episode. And when I tried to check in on him, He spazzed out on me being disrespectful. I told him some things that I thought we could talk about because he's an adult, and he went off and he spazzed out. And he said he will do anything and everything he can to ruin me. This is all because I checked on him. And because I mentioned some things from the past that I said maybe we could discuss, or maybe you need to understand, maybe this is why the relationship seems this way or that way. He didn't want to hear none of that. We have gone to therapy. They have been in therapy. I've been in therapy for years. I have been in therapy for parental abuse from my children for years. Yes, my children had it hard growing up with me. It was hell being my kid because I come from nothing. I don't have anything, anyone, or anybody out here who actually loves me but one person. Not even my own children fuck with me. So I obviously made mistakes. I was forced to have a child, 17 years old, by a man who decided my future for me. And it's just gone downhill since then because I haven't made the best decisions ever since I became a mother and known that I was having a baby at 17 years old in high school. I never claimed to be a good mom, never said that I strived to be a good mom. I have always given my children my best, and my best simply was not good enough. And I felt bad about it. So I apologized, and I came to them and I talked to them about their trauma and their pain, and I asked for us as adults to be in group therapy, but it never happened. My children have been parentally abusing me ever since they became adults. And I just found out recently they've been doing it on purpose as a retaliation for what they experienced as a child due to my mistakes. So they are intentionally doing this. They are intentionally going against me, and nothing has happened since 2022. And what happened in 2022 is I put my disrespectful middle child out because he was trying to put my daughter against me, disrupting our home and lying on me for no reason. And then he tried to bully me. So I called the police and put him out. That's the last time I've seen that boy. We've talked since then, though. Again, nothing's happened. You would think that this boy was 18 years old because we look so young. You would think that he was talking about stuff that happened yesterday. You would think that this pain that you see in his eyes is like from just a couple hours ago. But no, this is unhealed, built up, unresolved everything. Because
well, I mean, listen, listen, what do you think is, when you, what do you think childhood trauma is? Do you think childhood trauma just go away and evaporates into the thin air? You usually deal with your childhood trauma as an adult. The same way she needed therapy probably from childhood trauma and mistakes she's made. They have to go through that process as well. You don't just grow up and the shit all just disappear. No, you have to work on it. And if you are at the center of the issue, she clearly acknowledged that she made some poor decisions and the children had to struggle. But then she's trying to say everything he's saying is a lie. It don't make any sense. There is something there. And there's reasoning behind his pain and where he's coming from. And she seems to be allegedly at the center of that. So why not accept the fact that your children are suffering when you just acknowledge that you made some poor decisions and your kids struggle? But she's trying to say the way they struggle is not it, and it's been a long time. Well, he has to process that. It takes years. This is why I say a lot of these women walking around here, and not just women, people in general are walking around with unhealed trauma that they haven't resolved. And where do you think all that comes from? So he has a right to express his feelings. And when we talk about young men, it's worse because they don't get the opportunity to really share their issues. That's why they go silent and they just hold everything in. And you talk about men who delete themselves because they don't have an outlet to tell their feelings because they're looked at as weak. So it's worse for men, young men. So this story, it's unfortunate. I don't like this type of stuff because I resonate with it, and it's a lot. I know the process in trying to heal and get past these things, especially when you're dealing with a person, mothers in particular, who are in denial and don't want to help their children get better. They make it worse. And I always say it's the adults who have to be the bigger person because y'all are the adults. You have to put in the efforts to help your children because they're still your children, even if they're grown. Devon Mitchell, thank you for the super chat, said she gonna say, but I was young. Right. I mean, it still doesn't take away from the trauma that you've caused your children. You created these children. They didn't come here by themselves. It's a lot, y'all. Thank you, Devon. I appreciate you. Make sure you guys are hitting the like button. Please hit the like button, y'all. What's going on, Trey? How are you, Trey? What's going on? How you been? Oh my God. Right. Let's continue.
He refuses to go get help and get medicated. My son is mentally ill. I will not give you his diagnosis. He was diagnosed, well, he was looked at 3, diagnosed at 4. One of the youngest people to be diagnosed under this particular diagnosis of mental illness. He knows for a fact that he's supposed to go get help. He knows that he's supposed to be medicated. He knows that his illness hurts others. He knows this for a fact. Yet he does nothing about it but sit on social media and post to people like you who are taking your time out of your day to repost this nonsense. 90% of it isn't even real. The fact that you over 30 don't think about the dynamics of this. What young man is not out in the world at this age? He's almost 30 years old. Who isn't out exploring life? Who isn't out enjoying life? Something must have happened in my son's life recently that caused him to use me as the way to escape. I believe, and I'm not saying this 100% accurately, that he allegedly was probably left by his wife. I noticed that a lot of his videos are against women, but my son has supposedly been married for 5 years. From what I understood, I thought happily married. But if you look at his posts, it's not giving that. So this is not nothing to do with me. It don't have shit to do with my pussy. And it don't have shit to do with any of the celebrities that this boy, who is now a man, has thrown under the bus for no reason, telling lies about. This is really alarming that you guys find this entertaining, but my pain is not for entertainment purposes at all. This shit hurt like a motherfucker. The children that you gave the world to grow up and they turn around and do things like this. This shit ain't no laughing matter. This shit hurts. This is like real crazy that this young man would do this. Don't you have?
So on the one hand, she says she struggled with her kids and they struggled, but y'all struggled and you gave the world to them? You gave them the world. What type of struggle world? Like, come on. She admittedly said that they struggled. She said she had issues. She made horrible choices, and then you gave them the world. Your son was diagnosed with a mental illness, is what she's saying, at that young of an age. A mental illness at, what she said, 2 or 3 years old, young. And so if he was diagnosed so young, wouldn't you think he would still have issues now? Has he been diagnosed since? You're the mother. If you're the mother, if your son is diagnosed with a mental illness at 2 or 3, you got to maintain that. You got to monitor him. You got to provide resources for him. If he was diagnosed so young, then that means you as the parent, you're responsible for making sure that your son get the help that he needs. If he was diagnosed that young under your care, that's your responsibility to make sure that he grows up and he's in a good place. A lot of things that children are diagnosed with when they're young, they can either grow out of it as they get older, or they may not. They may have some deficits. That's the mother's and the parents' responsibility to monitor the kids, to constantly get them help, constantly have them seeing therapists and doctors and things of that nature so that you can help them along the way. I don't hear nothing about that. Oh Lord, geez, this is very triggering in my opinion. It's triggering to me. Whitney, thank you for the super chat. Says this whole mom and son situation shouldn't be on social media for millions to listen to, but rather in therapy. I agree 100%. I agree. I think it should, but listen, I talked about this in my own situation and I use it as an example. Sometimes when you try to get the parents involved to get them together for therapy, they don't want to do it. I talked about this in my own situation where, I set it up for my mother because we haven't, it's been some issues with me and my mother. This is why I say this resonates. I set it up to where I talked to producers at the Oprah with Oprah. And what's on, they had the thing here and talked to the producers, wanted to get my mother involved because they was doing a show on mothers and the children's relationship. Had them contact my mother to have her on the show. She didn't want to be on the show. And look, that was like the last ditch effort to have because I understand how you can be to a point of desperation where you try to talk to them yourself. And you try to have conversations with them to get them to understand your perspective and they just don't. So I understand how people get to a place to where they like, to hell with it. I'm going to vent on social media. This is an outlet where people can hear what I got to say. It's almost like therapy in a way. When you got to tell somebody, you got to get it out some kind of way. So while I don't think social media is the best place for it, I understand how you get to that place because Going on the show and talking about your personal stuff is not for everybody. People don't want to do that. But I do understand the desperation of wanting somebody to hear it, to try to get this person to see your perspective and you see theirs. Because when you're trying to talk to them in private, they don't get it. They don't get it. They're in denial the whole time. So you're like, well, damn, if I could get, maybe you respect Oprah. Maybe you, I don't. Oprah is a whole nother situation now, baby. But maybe you'll get TD Jakes because you respect the church. You respect those people. So maybe if we can get them people involved, maybe you'll speak out. Child, that didn't work. Didn't want to do it, so I did it myself. So you feel alone in this situation because that the person who you really want to talk to and really get, they don't want to get it. So you have to really get to a place of removing yourself and working on yourself. And that way you can move on from that, because that really does bring a lot of trauma in your life. If you're in a relationship, you can bring that trauma to your spouse. That is something that you definitely have to resolve. That unhealed trauma from your childhood, that is a real thing. And you have to work on it because you will be no good for anybody who's close to you in your life. So it was important for me to get past that. And so I understand it shouldn't be on social media, but sometimes that's your last ditch effort. I did it. That's why I get it. And they don't want it in denial. You know, I remember the lady, the producer from the show was like, she was even shocked. The lady was like, she couldn't even understand it, wrap her brain around it. And I'm like, this is it. She didn't want to do it. She said she was just talking about why she want to bring up the past because it's affecting me. God damn it. It's affecting my life. So I need to get this out, and you are a part of it. So I need you to at least hear me. I'm willing to work with you, but they don't want to do it. They're so much in denial, they can't talk about it. So I get it. And so that was the last straw for me. I'm like, nah, I can love you from a distance. I don't really, because you're in denial and they're going to be in denial until the end. So you got to learn how to live your life in a way that doesn't bring up trauma and bring, where you can live your life and not allow that to affect the way you live your life. So yeah, Whitney, thank you, Whitney. I appreciate you for the super chat. Make sure you guys are hitting the like button. So yeah, I get it. But sometimes they don't, and they don't realize the effects that it have on your life. See, they've moved on, they've blocked it out, and they've told themselves, and they went to God and say, God, forgive me, but they never came to you and say, look, I'm so sorry how this has affected you. I don't care if you say you was young and dumb. I don't care. And just acknowledging and owning up to some part of it, it could be enough. But if you got to get to a place to where if you don't get that acknowledgement or nothing, that you can be okay and move on with your life. And I think that's where you have to either get therapy or you have to come to reality that these people are never going to own up to their part. They're never, remember, these are the children in these situations. You don't have no control of what your parents do. You have no control on how they choose to live their life. You are the result of that. And so you got to understand that you're kind of helpless in the situation. And then when you grow up, now you can make choices that benefit you and your children. But it doesn't mean that trauma just instantly goes away. So once again, I get it. Irving Hunt, thank you for the super chat. Says, hey, DeeDee, this is a typical ratchet woman that ruined her son. Where was this boy's father? She ran him off. Of course. Thank you, Irving. Thank you for being here. Thank you for the super chat, Irving. I appreciate you. Yeah, but this is the type of situations we see a lot. These are a lot of times. This is why when I hear a lot of women say, oh, the dads just didn't want to be a part of their kids' lives. And they just ran off and didn't want to be responsible. No, a lot of times they be out here doing it big, raw dogging left and right and bringing children into the world. A lot of these children, in general, don't be even knowing who their fathers are. So it's not just that cut and dry that, all these men just walked away. A lot of these women have been, was doing some things that was not conducive to healthy, stable lifestyles for their children. But then they always are in denial. A lot of these women make excuses for their choices, and it's unacceptable. And you can't walk around here and just blame the children. The children are the children. You are the adults in this. But anyway, thank you, Irvin. I appreciate you. It's just, it's a lot. It's a lot. I've been a loving mom from a distance for 2 years. The parents back in the day didn't want to talk about about hard questions. Exactly. I keep my fam at arm's distance. Exactly. I would get it I would get if I don't remember it. It never happened. My real father was never in my life at all. This is like I said, this is more common than people want to admit to. Let's continue.
Better things to do with your time, son. The saddest part about it is I don't even know everything that he's talking about because it's so jumbled up and mixed up. This boy ain't never had a stepdaddy, never called nobody no stepdaddy, never. So me and people from Michigan don't know who he's talking about. We can't figure it out. There has been so much said about me, his dad's wife, his siblings, his grandma. I mean, I don't even understand. None of these people have done anything to my son, especially his grandmothers. I don't really know what that's about. I don't even know why her pussy got brought up. I really don't understand it. I don't know why pussy being brought up in the first place, let alone your mama and your grandmama's pussy. Is weird. Y'all don't think so? It took me a long time to figure out what I wanted to do. I've been told to put a video out. I've been told to leave it alone. I've been told to call the authorities because my son has threatened my life. In writing, all because I checked on him and asked him, did he need a hug? And son, is there anything going on? Your videos is coming off like, you feel alone out here. Do you need me? All because I did that. So if you tell them in any capacity that, hey, you're not the only one abused in the situation, they can't see it. I am so far from a narcissist, it's not even funny. It's not even funny. And I've been tested. And just so y'all know, most narcissists don't go get tested. I've been tested. I've been getting therapy for years. My therapist saw this shit today and she was like, what the hell is going on with your children? They are evil and spoiled.
All right. So that was all I could take. Yeah, it's a lot. And I do agree that this should be private. But, you can't tell people how to grieve or how to tell their, part of a story. You can't really control how others respond, especially, and like I said, I've been through it, and while you could say, oh, keep it private, don't tell anybody. Well, okay, if I'm reaching out to you to try to resolve, and I don't know their situation, but I can only speak for mine. When you've reached out to a person and you've tried all that you could to try to, have a cordial conversation with them and explain to them your part and the things that you've gone through, and they don't want to hear it, what else do you expect to do? It's like a desperation situation. You got to reach out to somebody. You got to put yourself first in the situation. You can't keep trying to hide and cover their feelings and worry about them. No, you have to worry about yourself. You have to put yourself in front of the situation and put yourself first, because now, especially, I believe that when you have a family, when you have a husband and you have children, you cannot allow yourself to put that onto them, because that's what I was doing at a point. And when you realize that this is causing a problem within your household, you got to do something about it, whether that's therapy, however you got to deal with it, because it could cause issues. You start lashing out, and you start lashing out on the people close to you because of your unhealed trauma from that upbringing. So you don't want to do that. Therapy, I would say try some therapy, try to talk to somebody, get it out. Don't just harbor those feelings and leave them in. You got to get them out. You got to have the conversation. You got to do the hard part. You got to accept the fact that this person is never going to understand. They're never going to get it. They've forgotten it all. They've thrown it to the past. They gave it to Jesus. But they've never come to you to say, you know what, I understand your feelings and what you meant, because they act like it didn't exist. They don't tell you none of that happened. And oh my God, the most hurting thing that you could go through is the person who's responsible for a lot of things that happen to you, or that when you're upbringing, when they tell you, oh, you're just a liar, this didn't happen. Ooh, that hurts. That hurts. That hurts for them to blatantly tell you that you're lying and it didn't happen. Oh, that's a hurt that it's gonna be hard for you to get over. When they tell you you're the liar and you're making it up. Oh, that didn't happen. Like, that's one of the most hurtful things that you could ever go through. For somebody to tell you, oh, that they're lying, that what they didn't happen, and oh, that is some hurtful shit. So that's why I understand, people gotta go through that. You gotta find a way to get past that and child, get it together. So yeah, you will need some therapy. You really need some therapy. To be able to deal with that, because a lot of times people aren't able to do that. And so the childhood trauma is real, and it just doesn't come from your father not being there. The mothers who were left there could be the worst trauma that you have to, go through. So it's not just the father, but it's on the mothers that are there. If you would think that if the father wasn't there and he just up and left and never came back and he just said, I don't, screw y'all, I don't want to be here, then the mother would have to be the most uplifting, emotional, supportive woman ever. That she would have to be there to really help you with this loss or this, trauma that you might be going through because the father wasn't there. But a lot of times it's not like that. It's not like that. It be the mothers who bring even more trauma on you. And so you didn't have a father, and then the mother that you had was not a fix, Yeah, you need Jesus to fix it, child. Fix it, Jesus, for real. Hit the like button, y'all. Please hit the like button. We got about 80 people in the building. 66 likes. Hit the like button, y'all. Women treat therapy like it's a Netflix subscription. Right. Because I don't know, it may not even be helpful. Fix it, Jesus is right. When you reached out, it triggered him. When she reached out, it triggered him. When the source of your problem asks, are you okay? It irritates me. Child, right. She never said he was lying. He must have been telling the truth. Right. They don't want to talk about, they don't. Single moms cause a lot of trauma. They surely do. And they don't care. Mothers back in the day were triggered to the past. Yeah, they don't, because they don't want to talk about it. Because they've thrown it in the sea of forgetfulness. They forgot about it. They act like it didn't exist. They act like they was perfect ever. And then we'll say that, I did the best I could. And I say, yeah, and your best wasn't good enough. You could have did more. They don't want to hear that. That's why they don't like to talk to you. Because let me tell you something. I don't give a damn what nobody. Look, when you talk to me, you gonna always recognize your shit. Because when I talk to you, I don't give a damn. I could talk to you, but I'm gonna bring something up to let you know that I remember. Okay, you're not getting off scot-free, so they don't want to talk to you. Because why? When I talk to you, I'm gonna mention something about the past that directly was from your doing. So you will never walk around and forget and act like it's thrown. I know I'll let you know it existed and I remember. So they don't want to talk to you. So I don't care. I don't give a damn. Yep, that's right, Trey. The sea of forgetfulness, that's where they throw it. Child. Don't mistake physical age of being an adult with emotional immaturity. A woman can physically be 40, but emotionally 17. Exactly. All right. That's facts. Yeah. And so, yeah, they walk around and act like, no, talking to me is going to be a constant reminder that I know the truth. And I'm not going to sit here and bullshit with you and lollygag and play around and act like I don't know and make it seem like, oh my God, you were such a great parent. Oh my God. Yeah. Hell no. No. And I said it before, I'll say it again. As long as I'm alive, and if you ever talk to me, it's gonna be something I'm gonna bring up to let you know it's real, and it was real, and I know, and I'm not, and I know your bullshit, and that's why they don't like you around, because you being around is a reminder of the shit you done in the past that you want to act like it didn't happen. No, they try to erase you and don't want you around, baby. Once again, I said it before, I'm gonna write that book yet about a lot of the stuff I'm talking about because it needs to be told. And so, yeah, no, I'm not sugarcoating. I'm not forgetting. I'm not acting like you was the parent of the year when you wasn't. Period. 87 Stephen X, thank you for the super chat, says, what goes on in the dark will come out to the light. Yes, it will. And karma is real. I don't give a damn what nobody says. I'm not acting like everything was peaches and cream. It is what it is. We're all human. We all make mistakes. So if I could say, damn, made some mistakes, I could own up to it. So can you. I'm not walking around pretending like you was a perfect mother, whoever it was. I'm gonna call it, because you should look. If you did some things in your past, you did them. You should acknowledge it. Everybody. Hell, a lot of the mothers and fathers, deadbeat mothers are out here drinking and smoking, ruining your life, running the streets. That's what they did back in the day. They went out and had fun. They were young. It's not a shocking situation, but they be trying to erase their past like it never happened. No, acknowledge and own the shit that you did. There's nothing wrong with it. If our grandparents could sit back and laugh about shooting at their husbands from cheating and running behind them back in the day in Mississippi out here just living, doing all kind of crazy stuff, and they laugh at it and talking about they was, granted with a gun, and they was out here really just chasing them because he was cheating and you're busting them. They tell all their stories, and they're not running from or hiding from it, some of them. But the ones that's running and hiding from the past be the most hypocritical ones too. You running and hiding, and then you have something to say about it. Shut the hell up. You can't say shit about nobody else because you was no better. Then if you're going to talk about these people, okay, let's talk about you. Oh, yeah. So why you got all these baby daddies? And what happened? Why these men was in the house fighting over you? Why? What was going on? Now you don't want to talk. Now you want to be quiet. Shut up. Don't talk about nobody else if you don't want to talk about your own shit. Because you got stories too that you hiding and ducking, and now you're Christian. That's why I don't trust Christians. That's my trauma coming out. I don't trust Christians because they all hypocrites. They be lying and covering and trying to tell other people how to live their life. I'd rather, listen, whatever you got going on, I can respect it because it's your life. But what I can't respect is people hiding and lying behind Jesus and acting like you've been a Christian your whole life and you're so, no. I like the people who live their life out loud and in front of people, and they don't make no bones about it. If that's what you do, that's what you do. I'd rather the hoes come out and say, I'm a hoe and I'm proud. Because if that's what you're doing and you proud of it, you choosing it. So why should you be hiding from it and lying and acting like this is, not what you want to do? You make the choices in life. If you a hoe, be a hoe and proud if that's your choice. Don't be a hoe and then hide behind Christianity and act like, and then trying to tell other people how they should live when you go to church on Sunday and busting it open Monday through Saturday. You busting it open in the streets with Ronnie, Bobby, Ricky, Mike, and Pooch Hall and everybody else. And then on Sunday you want to try to tell people what to do with their bodies and their lives. Come on now, stop it. Stop. Be honest. I can respect a person who's honest about what they're choosing to do and they make no bones about it and you clear on it. Because that's your life. That's your choice. I can't be mad at you making your choice. I may not agree with it, but at the same time, just because I don't agree mean I can respect you and your choices. That's your choice. But what I don't like is people who are trying to be Christians and want to, I do everything according to the Bible. Lies, and ain't no truth in it. You a goddamn lie and a hypocrite. Period. I'd accept the hoe being a hoe and telling me she a hoe or he a hoe and they happy with it. Then you being a hoe and hiding behind Jesus. And then trying to tell everybody else what to do with their lives. Come on now. I don't know. I'm not for it. Thank you, 87 Stephen X. Thank you for the super chat. I appreciate you. I'm not for it. I don't trust Christians because they be lying. They be lying. They be the most hypocritical ones out here. Because you only go to Jesus to hide your shit. And you don't give a damn about Jesus. That's why when I be hearing people saying, "Oh my God, I want a God-filled man." Why? You ain't God-filled. Ain't God nowhere in you. Jesus ain't nowhere. You busting it open, raw dogging, and now you talking about you want a Christian God-fearing man. Where's your God? How you want a God-fearing man? You ain't God ain't none of your choices. They be tripping me out. I don't know. I don't trust you. You're full of shit. God fearing. Ain't no God. God didn't tell you to go bust it up for Pookie. God didn't tell you to go out here and get ran through all day, every day by the niggas in the hood. No, God didn't make that choice for you. So now you want a God fearing man, got 6 children, 6 baby daddies. Where was God at when you made those choices? God ain't nowhere in your choices. But you want a God fearing man all of a sudden. You turned Christian yesterday and now you want a God-fearing man, you all about God. And when the last time you been intimate with somebody? 2 weeks ago? Where was God? You ain't married? You don't care about a husband? You're busted open and raw dogging to the highest bidder. Where did God tell you to do that at? Child, they can miss me with that. Hell no. I can respect a person who is open and honest about their choice. I ain't that judgmental because I feel like too many people are lying and hide behind God. I don't trust the Christians because you be lying. They be lying and telling people what to do when you ain't even doing it yourself. Don't tell me about God and marriage and being this and that, when y'all know y'all be raw dogging it with men and women and behind the doors and behind the pastor, the pulpit, you'll sleep with the church members, you'll do anything. And then talking about what God said. Come on now, shit. Nah, hell no. So yeah, I call cap on it. I'm not for it. I'm really not. But anyway, yeah, hopefully with this situation, they can work it out. If not, then they just going to have to be able to move on. And I'm referring to the son in that situation. He's going to have to move on with his life and get some help, get some therapy, something, because it will affect your relationships. It can affect your mental state and all of that, because you're trying to cope with this stuff. People don't realize people have to have coping mechanisms to get past these things. You got to understand, childhood trauma could be with you for the rest of your life. You don't just become an adult and wake up in one day and it just go away. No, you have to actively work on some things. It could cause you to not be able to trust people. It can affect you in so many ways. And, I always would advise, try to at least talk about it, get it out your system. And I think talking about it is one way to get it out, because the more you talk about it, you can go through the emotions that's associated with it and get it out, not hold it in and lock it. Because the longer you keep it suppressed, the worse off you'll be. And the people around you are the ones who are going to suffer because of that. So talk to somebody, get some help. You really have to, So that would be my advice to people who are dealing with childhood trauma, especially when it comes to your parents, your mother, whoever. You have to actively work on that stuff. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I just thought that was crazy, but yeah, that's my little rant on it. Get some help. Get some help. Talk about it. Don't let it fester. Don't let it just sit in you. You know what I'm saying? Let's move on, y'all.
You think that in today's climate, it's harder?
So I want to get to this, the video. This was a clip that I got from Paul Pierce and Azar. They had the rapper on there, Hitmaker, aka Young Berg. He was on the show and he kind of called her out on some things. And I thought it was very interesting because we don't get a whole lot of this, but when we do, I really like to speak on it because I think it's necessary. And I think it's necessary for women to understand their place and their perspective and how they come across to men. And part of that could be the reason why a lot of these women don't have the relationships that they say they want, and why they can't get the men that they say they want is because they don't see themselves and they don't see how men see them. And so they think what they're doing is okay. They think the way they're coming across is okay, but not realizing that men don't see them a certain way. And this is why men don't approach or don't see them as marriage or relationship material, right? So I want to go ahead and get into it. Shout out to you, Lighthouse _301. Thank you. I appreciate you so much for being here. But let's get into this video, y'all. Make sure you are hitting the like button. Hit the like button, y'all. Please hit the like button, y'all. That's all I ask. Hit the like button. Here we go.
I think that in today's climate, it's harder to date or feel like you can find women trustworthy or genuine?
I don't think no women is like genuine.
Okay.
I think a genuine relationship is when you find somebody that y'all meet on a common ground of having nothing and y'all build something together. That's really genuine. Like, everything's transactional.
Man, so I made the comment. I said, have you ever married?
No.
So I made this comment that marriage is for old people and poor people.
True.
You agree with that?
Facts.
Man, see, and I got a lot of flack for that because I feel like when you're in those areas, it works. That's real love. Like, I feel like that's where real love is stacked up and placed.
Right. I think that marriage is kind of like, I don't see no men out here being like, yo, I can't wait till I get married. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's something that's kind of like done for women. But as far as me, like, I can only speak for myself. I'm never getting married. Like, not on paper.
Yeah.
Now, listen, y'all heard what he said. I think what he's saying is true for a lot of men. I've told y'all I love marriage and I think it's a good thing, but it's not going to be for everybody, especially in this day and age. Because, as much as we say everything is transactional, there is truth to that. There is truth to that. But I also got to point to, and it's something that I've been saying for the longest. Look, the true test of any relationship is being with a person when you have nothing, when y'all didn't have much and y'all are together. Especially for women who are usually the ones who are looking for stability in a relationship from a man. If you're with a woman who loves you, the true test to whether she's going to be there is when y'all are together, when y'all have nothing. For the most part, if she really cares about you, she's not focused on the money and that aspect of it. She's focused on you and who you are as a person. If she loves you for who you are as a person, then the money is not her biggest priority. And she understands y'all working together and building together. So you have a woman who's there when you had nothing. Y'all both didn't have nothing, and y'all build together. Usually those particular relationships, when they're focused on the things that really matter, are the ones that last for the most part. There are other things that you have to focus on and be concerned about in a relationship. But if y'all building together, y'all build something together, it means more. So by the time y'all have years in and y'all built up, you can go back and say, damn, you remember we didn't even have a car, or we had that raggedy car, or we was living in that small apartment. And then now look, we can look at the fruits of our labor together. It's not just getting the man at the finish line because you haven't put in. And so he would have more to be concerned about as it relates to you, whether you're loyal or whether you're going to be loyal or whether you're there for the right reasons. And there are some red flags that can show you if a woman is there for you or for just what you can provide. There's some red flags in there, but a lot of times men ignore those and don't look at it, and they believe that these women are loyal when a lot of times they're not. And it shows, because once they're there for a while and they get tired of you, then they want to leave and take you for half of what you've built up. So yeah, I agree that marriage now would be for people who are broke and people who are old. You want somebody to be there with you at the end. And in the beginning, you want. And in this economy, I still think it takes two, that you can build something together. But also, the idea of love is kind of going out the window now. People are not marrying for love anymore. People are marrying for stability. It is almost like a strategy now for self-preservation. People are marrying to ensure that they have something for themselves, not because they really love them. It's a different ball game. Now, I don't think people are looking to get married for love. They're looking for stability, and it's all for self-gain, in my opinion. But let's continue.
You said you would give a girl a 10-carat ring.
Yeah.
You would do the wedding. You would do the house, buy her house, but you just wouldn't do the paperwork.
But what is the purpose of the paperwork?
Right. Well, the purpose of the paperwork
is to put you in court. That's what it's paperwork for.
It's to
I ain't
create
like it's to
security.
put you in court. Period.
It is to create
and some leverage for the girl.
It's the security for whoever is less well off.
Well, if you don't believe in me like that, and you think I'm capable of actually being married to you and having children with you and just kicking you to the curb, and you don't have faith in the type of woman that you are, and you starting a relationship with an out. I don't like that.
Would you do something like, would you have a will or a trust where it's like, if we did divorce, like, I got you and you're
No
straight?
divorce, no. So this is
or
what
not divorce, but if we did split up.
So like we're together, and she's like, well, I need some security. I've been living with you doing this. And I was just like, well, I'll put you in the will. So if something happened to me, you can make some decisions, some stuff will go to you. But if we break up, you out the will. That's like marriage.
That's realistic.
That's like marriage, though.
Yeah, but I would still want my woman to work. So if I'm taking care of all the bills and I'm like, you're living in my home with me and you still work, you're basically stacking money and you're building your.
Because she can have her own money by paying all the bills and this and that. Yeah, I get that.
But this is the thing too. What about like you want to go somewhere? Like, baby, let's go to the Bahamas. I gotta work, baby. Baby, I want to go. Like, so like when you got some money, it's like if she working. How you go? Now you like, damn, she working so much, I'm gonna go to the Bahamas with this other girl.
Well, that's what I was gonna say. Like in reality, any woman that deals with me knows that I'm gonna have other women involved, regardless anyway.
Okay, understanding.
Not in a disrespectful fashion, but just the way our life moves, right? Like if I go somewhere and you're my woman and I have a high sex drive or this, that, and third, are we being honest with each other if I can leave you for 3 to 4 weeks and say that I'm not entertaining any other pussy?
Ooh.
That's crazy.
That's
but
crazy.
You know the nigga that you got though.
Right, if you know. See, this is the thing. This is no, this is the thing.
What he's saying is the truth, though. It goes back to what Kevin Samuels used to say. Listen, high value men, they have options. So they may tend to have more than one woman. Are you okay with that? See, the men that a lot of these women say they want with all of the money and all of, the men that they want, they don't want to believe that these men are going to have more than one woman and that these men are going to share them. Women want monogamy with the richest man out there. They want the 6 feet tall, handsome, tall, dark, handsome man with all the money, all the resources. They want him with all the swag, you know, attractive, somebody they can look up to and respect. They want him to want them in a monogamous relationship. They want him to only have eyes for them, only want to be with them. And, you know, make her his wife, and that's it. They are looking for something that probably doesn't exist. And then on top of that, you've been, you know, for the streets for forever. You think that if you look good, even though you might have been ran through and all of that, you still expect this small, you know, this man in a 1 or 2% at this point to look at you in a way, to be obsessed with you, to make you his wife and do all these things for you, and you want him to be monogamous. And I think that's what men are saying. Look, those men have options. Why would they only commit to you when they have so many options out here? That's just not what they're going to do. And so either you're going to have to be okay with sharing that man and having that lifestyle too, and sharing him and accepting whatever he's dishing out, because he has some options and he's going to use it. Versus you going for a man who may not think that way. A man who's a hardworking guy, makes pretty good money, but he's not rich. And he's not looking to share his woman. He actually wants a wife. And he wants a stable family lifestyle. And he sees you as a woman he can have that with, and you be with him. They don't want that. Because he may not be able to afford all these trips and have to give you all this lifestyle you're looking for, but he could probably give you a decent life, and y'all could build a decent life together. And y'all can take trips as a family, and y'all can do family things and build your life. They don't want that. That's too normal. And I'm not saying this is every woman, y'all. Don't get me wrong. Because there are women who have this and wanted it and they got it and they're fine with it. But for the women out here who don't have a husband, don't have a relationship, this is what they're looking for. But they all want this man to be monogamous and just that ain't gonna happen for the most part. Let's continue.
Like, what if you with a girl and you telling her everything, you telling her the truth? Because girls like, I want to know. And you rolling with that. It gets to a certain point where the girl will be rolling with that, and then all of a sudden they just mind change. Like, oh, but this is how we met. This is how we got down. Now
women are not designed to be that way.
Men are designed to be that way.
I didn't say men.
Oh,
women are not designed to be that way. Women play mind games with themselves and pretend that they will be okay with that. And that's why historically a woman will say they're okay with something and a year later be tripping, putting your business out there, losing their mind. Because women, and I advise women on this constantly, if you're not capable of being with a man like that, don't put yourself in a position to be with a man like that.
Then why do y'all all want a man like that?
I don't, so I can't speak for it.
What kind of man do you want?
I want a.
Oh my God, good question. That's what I asked you. Why do most women want that type of man? And this is where they contradict themselves. And this is where Azar contradicts herself, because you say you don't want a man like that, but you do. They do. They all want this high value man, even though they say they don't. Several women have contradicted themselves and saying, oh, I don't want a man like that. But then, when the questions are being asked, it shows that you do want a man like that. We've watched this. Kevin Samuels broke this down too when he had his show, on his podcast. He would ask women the type of, I don't want this man with all of that. But then when you start describing the type of man that you wanted, he used to ask this question, after having a child, how much of the responsibility you want to take on? How much of the bills you want to be responsible for? And most of them say a small percentage. So that means you do want the man to carry the most load. You want to be able to, you don't want to have to work after you have a child. So that means you want a man who makes a decent amount of money, so that you will put in a position so you don't have to rush back to work, or you don't have to work. They all say they want to be able to work, but they want to have the option to not be able to work. So that means you want a man to carry the majority of the financial load, so that you don't have to do much when it comes to that. So you do want a man making a decent amount of money, and where you don't have to work if you chose not to. They want to have the options open. But see, they say, they don't care. No, are you willing to be with a man who makes $50,000 a year or less? And y'all work together, y'all put y'all resources together? No, they don't. They want a man who makes a substantially more money than they do, so that he can take on all of the financial load and provide a lifestyle at the same time. But this is where the contradictions come in. Let's continue.
A man that wants me and me, and is wise enough and emotionally insured enough and selfless. How you know what I want?
Because I'm gonna be honest with you, right? You want an attractive guy?
No, I don't care about looks. I don't care about looks.
What about financially? Is he financially attractive?
Financially, you don't have to be super rich to be with me. No.
Super rich.
You could be cool. I could be cool. I'm not going to be with someone broke because I attract what I am, and I'm not a broke person. That's a mindset and mentality, and that's where you are in life.
You could date like a bus driver?
I can't take a bus driver, no.
So who is this guy? Like, cause it's like a mystery, nigga. Like, you want to get a piece of paper and draw him and like hang him up so we can actually see like what's the outline of this nigga?
Right. So she's saying she wouldn't date a bus driver. That's, so a bus drivers in certain states would make. Somebody told me bus drivers could make $70,000 to $100,000. I didn't know that. But somebody told me that bus drivers in certain states make pretty good money. So that's an average, is that average or above average? Because what is average wages now? Because from what I gather, the average wage in this country amongst all men, not just black men, is somewhere about 50,000, if I'm not mistaken. And then and that's for white men. And then for black men, it's like 40 to 50,000, something like that. So even I don't think if he making 70,000 to 100,000, that's not even average. That's above average income. But that wouldn't be enough for a lot of these women because how it looks too. And that's another thing. Women don't want to date or take a man seriously who doesn't look the part. So a bus driver doesn't look good to their friends. Okay, take that into consideration as well. You don't want something that looks a certain way. They want a CEO. They want a guy who looks like he's in control and all this kind of stuff. So you wouldn't date a bus driver not because just of what he makes, but also how it looks to you and your friends. It doesn't look like something appealing. So they'd say that too. But if you don't want a man that's making average income, and even that's what be considered above average, if it's somewhere between 60, 70, 100,000, that's still above average. They don't want that. You want the CEO of the company, the CEO, you want that. So when they're talking and saying it's not about a broker, she says she don't want a broke man because of mentality and all of that. That's a lie. Because it's not about the mentality. It's about how much money he makes, for sure. Let's continue.
Like, but he's ugly.
I don't say he's ugly.
I'm saying
I said he doesn't have to be like the finest man in the world, right?
So out of 10, he's a
5, 7.
Wait, 5 and 7 is a dangerous level. Like, come on, like that's crazy.
Medium ugly. Medium ugly.
Medium ugly.
Example.
I don't care about height.
No,
I don't care about
a nigga. Just say a nigga that's medium ugly.
This is crazy. I don't have
no, just say a nigga. Somebody famous.
Medium
Just a
ugly.
man that's medium ugly.
Like Martin Lawrence is medium ugly.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Okay, and he gotta have what?
You don't have to be famous. You don't have to be
what type of
popular.
bread though? Like make a year.
I think it would be a bread that could match my pocket so we can build together. Like I have this money, you have this money, and we can build together because 2 is better than 1.
How old is he?
Older probably.
Wait, so you want a medium ugly old unsuccessful man?
I'm not saying he's unsuccessful.
Gotcha.
Success is success. No.
So we on 2 different islands.
Hold on. Success is relative. What does success mean for you? Success means
no success in Los Angeles, California. It just says
success
what it
is different for everybody. What I find successful could be that I'm happy, I live good, I feel good, I'm healthy. That's success to me. Success is driven by wealth. First of all, you come from money.
Mm-hmm.
I come from money.
Yeah, but if success is, then it shouldn't matter how much the man makes. Then, if he's successful mentally, right, in his mental, and he thinks highly of himself, and he's, doing well, but he's not making so one hand it's about more than that, but then he got to make what I make or more. It doesn't make any sense. If it's really truly not about the money and it's about the mentality of the person, then he should be able to make anything. If he's bringing something of a better mentality to your life, and he's bringing that, and he's a good person, and he's what you need in that way, the money wouldn't matter. You would accept him no matter what money he's making, and y'all really build together. Because then that will require you to really build with him. Because he's a really good man mentally all the way around. He just doesn't make a whole lot of money. So that means you could really y'all could work together and y'all could build together. But that's what truly building is. It's not how you're building with somebody if they make more than you. That's not building. He's already built. Y'all are just complimenting each other at that point. And are you willing to really bring your resources to the table to really build? A lot of women are not. Successful MD, thank you for the super chat, says these women are a good representation of the stupidity that's out there. Facts. Stuck on titles, image, and money, but what qualifies them to deserve riches? Nothing. A lot of them don't have any great qualities for a man, but they expect the most from the man. That's what I talk about all the time, and I just think they're not looking at themselves. They're just and they are contradicting themselves, because you say you want certain qualities that are outside of money, but then it always come back to the money. Because if he has to make what you make or more, it's damn sure all about the money. Thank you, Successful MD. I appreciate you for the super chat. Thank you so much for being here. Let's continue.
Mm-hmm.
That's not the driving force for me. Because when you see it and you're raised by it, that doesn't attract you in the same way it attracts somebody who never seen it. They're hungry, they're hustlers, they're desperate. I don't have that desperation inside of me. I have a different type of drive. I've seen money without love, and I know what that fucking looks like. So for me, that's never been that goal for me.
What year did you see money without love?
In the year that my parents were married, in my whole fucking life.
How do you know?
What do you mean, how do I know?
I'm saying, but that's a total different generation than what we in right now. I'm talking about, where have you seen any of your friends with money without love be successful right now? Any of your peers or anybody, or are you just the one in a million? You the needle in a haystack to just only think like this? Name me one person that think like this. That's a peer to you. Do you have a friend that believes these same beliefs?
I do. I have really joked.
Ugly nigga. 50
I'm not saying ugly. Stop doing the ugly nigga
okay,
shit.
a medium ugly
I
nigga
said,
that's
like, I'm
50
not
years
big
old.
on looks. I'm big on energy.
How old is it? 50 years old?
Or like whatever. It could be any age. But I mean, it could be any age. I don't know what age.
Okay, so I love you. God bless you. You're a great woman.
Thank you.
I ain't doing none of that shit.
What are you not doing?
Nothing you talking about.
Well, that's not different people.
Yeah, but like, that just sound like a LL, like you ugly and broke.
I didn't say they were broke. I said that they had to match me. That's not broke. I just said I'm not a broke woman and I don't have a broke mindset. I never came from
I can't relate because I think that even in my position, I don't know if P can relate to this, but it's like, I hate when women like brag about their career points and like, 'cause I love it, but I hate it because it's like, you're never investing to a man like I'm gonna invest into a woman. Anyway. Exactly. So it's kind of pointless for us to
How do you know that's true though? Women invest into a man mentally and not financially. I can be your manager. I can make sure you making right plays. I can give you intuition. I can show you things.
But why would a man who's already successful need you to be their manager? They don't. Damn it. This is why I say a lot of these women are thrown off. Why would a man who's already successful want his woman to be his manager? He don't need that. He don't want his. That's what I'm saying. A lot of women don't know their place in a man's life. That man don't want his woman to be his. He wants you to be a beautiful, calm spirit, shutting the hell up, being quiet. Show up where I need you to show up. He don't need you. He already got that on lock. If you mean a man who's already successful, he don't need you to be his manager. He don't need you for that. He wants you to be a beautiful space for him to come home to. Give him the things he wants. Y'all don't want to cook. Y'all don't want to clean. You don't want to be a housewife for real. Y'all want to be outside boss chicks, but you want to have a rich man on your arm to say, "Ooh, girl, look what I got." Y'all don't. A lot of these women don't want to show up where the men would need them to show up. The things the man wants y'all to do, y'all don't want to do. He wants you to be quiet. He don't need you to be his manager and a part of his financials. He wants you to be beautiful, loving, sweet, be able to cook some good food and help out in the, do what you need to do in the household, be there as his support, things of that nature. Just be there for him. Be loving. He don't need you to be a part of his financial makeup. He's already done that. I don't understand. And then if they ask you, hey, you make money too. Okay, give me some money. Let's give me some money. Give me 500 grand. So I can put toward this business venture. You'll see how quickly they oppose. When he say, okay, you want to help? Okay, give me 500 grand. Let's put it towards something. I got this business. You'll see how they run like the wind and they don't want to give no money. So what else? So what? I mean, come on. What we talking about? Like, come on. It don't make no sense. It really don't. They don't be what they. Oh, he could be. She don't need. It don't need to be a financial this. But why? How you talking about building? What are you gonna build with them then? If he trying to start a business venture and he say, give me some money to put with mine, y'all ain't gonna want to do it. They ain't gonna want to do it. Let's continue.
Yeah, like I've been with a man where I'm helping you make the right decisions because I'm a businesswoman. So it's just
you don't respect this nigga.
That's not true.
So you got to come in and make all his business
That's
decisions
not what
for him
I'm saying.
off the rip.
That's not what I'm saying. Women have an intuition that men don't have. So I can see things that you may not see, just like a man can see things I can't see. That's why women were made for each other. So if I get it, if you don't have that or you don't see that or you don't value that, but there's a lot of ways that a woman can invest into a man. Investing into a man could be making sure your breakfast is made, making sure this is prepared for you, anticipating your needs before you know you need that. I already anticipated that for you. I already have that ready for you. So guess what? Bill Gates and the most successful men in the world, you know what they say? The less decisions they have to make, the more successful they are.
All the things that you saying that you could do for a nigga is like the rich nigga. The broke nigga ain't even gonna be around you. Like the medium, ugly, not successful man, he gonna be out the door before you can make breakfast. You talking about, I can make breakfast for you. That sounds like for a man with a lifestyle that's just kind of like laid back, like you could fill in the blanks for it. If I'm hustling like that and I'm really trying to, because ultimately, like I'll never tell you if you're my girl, but if I'm still like at this level and me and you are eye level, then it's in my nature to want to have more than you so I can provide for you, right?
I get that.
So you think that you're gonna be able to make me breakfast if I gotta go and be out, I'm out the door at 6 a.m. if we living like that?
I understand that.
So you're not really doing nothing.
Well, the important thing I think is for the woman to recognize what the man
I'm
needs.
not really. That's crazy.
Well, the important thing for a woman is to recognize what a man needs, and if it's just
That's what I'm saying.
coochie or comfort, it's men out there like that. That they got everything covered.
Yeah.
But so then men like that, they feel like, you know, I could probably get that from any girl, so you act right.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So act right. So as long as you act right, we lock in.
Yeah.
Do you have
know?
kids?
No.
See, that's the flyest thing that you could bring to the table. Like, yo, I don't have kids, and I'll be able to like have my first child with you. I think that's the bargaining chip for you over any other girl that might got kids or got other shit going on. That's what you bring to the table. Like,
Yeah, I don't know if she wanted to hear that, but child. Success MD says they will make a battery man be 2 negative posts. Oh my God. Thank you, Successful MD. I appreciate you. Yes, Lord. You know, this is why I think, thank you, Successful MD. I appreciate you. This is why I think a lot of women are lost. They don't really know how to show up for the man that they even want. They have this mentality or this, everybody's, they're in this echo chamber. All women say the same thing. Oh, I can bring this to a man. Well, what if what you're talking about bringing to him is not what he needs? Are you willing to give him exactly what he needs? Because a lot of times they're not. You're dealing with a lot of independent, successful, independent mindsets. Women who think independently. They don't really know how to show up for a man. Oh, I can show up to help with your business. I don't need you to help with my business. I got that. I'm already successful. I don't need you. I have people for that. So what I need you to do is be a pretty face and be at home and do this, and then you're gonna see how they push back. You know what I'm saying? Women don't really want to fulfill the roles that most men want. Most men don't need you to help them with that. And if you can help them with that, why don't you go get an average man that might need you to help with that? An average man who's saying, look, wait, hey, bring them resources, who can use your money that you say you have, but they don't want that. And you're trying to do something that will be beneficial to an average man, to a high value man that they don't need. So the things that the man need from you in that position, y'all don't want to give. That's why you don't have a man. You're too good for the average man, and you're not good enough for the man that the high value men that you want. I don't know what her finances are, what they look like, or whatever she makes, but she's not broke, she said. So whatever she makes, say she makes $200,000 a year. You can't be, you want a man who makes $200,000 or more, but what he wants from you, you don't want to give. You thinking that you can show up and helping him with his business. He's like, no, I don't need that. I don't need that. But this is where I need you, and then you ain't gonna like that. Because you're a businesswoman. And you feel like you are in a higher position to where you can't just be reduced to being a housewife and cooking and cleaning for him. You're going to get tired of doing that because you want to be outside. You want to do your own thing because you believe you're too successful, or you've been too successful to just be reduced to being a housewife and being arm candy for him and just loving and showing up for him. See, that's why they don't have nobody. They're not fitting in no box. You're not good enough. You think you're too good for an average man. You're not good enough for above average man. And so where does that leave you? By yourself. Period. Let's continue.
Like my womb ain't been, you know what I'm saying, tampered with.
All right. I never thought about that.
That's a flex.
Clock it or whatever the girl said.
Okay.
But is it like, you know, women with no kids, like we talked about this. Is a woman with no kids in her 30s, is that like attractive, or is it a red flag? Because some men think it's attractive. Some men think it's a red flag. Some be like, why aren't you, you know, it's a lot of questions that come up with that. Like, what you think about that?
I just think it's behavior. So when if I'm attracted to you and you don't have no kids, and like certain people would look at it as a red flag, but to me it's just like, what's your behavior like when you get around me? Are you on some hot girl shit? Are you just a fun time? Are you somebody I could take serious? I think a lot of times, even with me, like you could be so lusty over a woman and be like, damn, like I can't wait to entertain this girl. And you'll be thinking that she'll be coming in a different perspective, but she's just really a fun time. So you just gotta honor it like that, you know?
No difference. Because you don't have kids, right?
Nope.
Do you want kids?
Yeah.
That's like a big deal for a man to not have kids these days. Most women meet men with kids, and having no kids, like you can look at it like, is it a red flag that you're, you know, X amount of age and you don't have kids? But then at the same time, you know, I don't think it is, because I think that's someone who made smart decisions and didn't want to have a kid with someone they knew they weren't going to be with long term. So it's kind of like,
you think that's true though? Like why don't you have kids?
I never found someone that I wanted to have kids with.
So
I never thought the situation was right. The timing wasn't right. The situation wasn't right. It didn't feel right. Like I always say, the man who gets me to have his baby is a cold motherfucker. I'll tell you that, because I will not have a baby by a man that I feel like the situation isn't right, the timing isn't right. I don't care if it's the richest nigga in the world. I will not have that baby because I will only have a baby.
The richest nigga in the world?
Yeah, I'm not having a baby for money.
That's cap.
But it's the richest dude in the world.
It's not cap
You
because
had sex with the richest man in the world, so
because-
you fucked with him.
But this is what I'm saying. The reason I say that is because my having a child is connected to me having a partnership, a foundation, love, something I can bring my child into the world that's not a broken family. And if that happens, it happens because it could.
Ain't
I could
nothing
be
gonna be
married.
broken. Ain't nothing gonna be broken with the richest nigga in the
But
world.
the thing is I'm not listening. I could be married and I could get a divorce.
It's true.
And I
Ain't
can
nothing
start with
broke
the
in that
foundation.
category.
You know what I'm saying? I can start with all that and it can end, but I want to at least know I'm starting on a strong foundation. I want to know that our moral compass is aligned. So if we don't work out, we can handle this really like copacetic. You know what I mean? And I just
but that's cap, and that's where the this is the biggest contradiction. You want a man who is going to be a great father, I'm sure. Great father, great husband, great, that y'all can really have something solid with. But a lot of these women pass up men who would have been exactly that. You pass them up looking for the highest bidder, looking for a man with money and all of that. And then just to turn around and say, oh, now I want a man to be a great father. I don't care about the money and all that. But a lot of women pass up good men because they're looking for the money. A lot of women who have married good men who were sole providers, but he wasn't rich, he worked hard, they walk away from that thinking they can get something better. So you want somebody with more money for a lifestyle, but you had a man who would be a great father, a good provider, all of that, but he wasn't good enough. These women are talking in circles. They really are. They're talking in circles. This is why they're single, because they're talking in circles. It ain't about the money on one hand, but then he got to make what I make or more. So it is about the money. You don't have any, it is a red flag, in my opinion, for a woman to be 30, 40 years old with no husband, no children, because that means you're not looking at men for the right reasons. You're looking at them for something that doesn't exist, and you just keep getting older and older and older, and you're not going to have the options. You're going to run out of options. They're talking in circles. They're talking in circles, trying to justify or make sense of why they don't have what they say they want. And it's obvious, in my opinion. Let's continue.
Feel like I don't care like who it is. If I don't feel like that's timing is right, I'm not going to do it. And I'm getting older, so I
think
get that.
that's a red flag more than you not having a baby.
Is what?
That you dated for how many years you dated and you felt like none of the niggas that you fuck with was able to like
Yeah,
take
that
their
is a red
chance
flag
with.
for sure.
Yeah.
I agree with you.
It's like bad decision making, right?
I agree with you 100%. Historically, I've made bad decisions with men for sure. And it is a red flag. But
there's no such thing as a bad decision. No, seriously, because you learn from
The
everything.
learning experience, right?
Yeah.
You feel me? That's my mindset.
There is a such thing as bad decisions, especially if you don't learn from them. No, there's nothing wrong with making mistakes. So mistakes come with life, and it comes with growth. It's just a part of life. You're going to make some mistakes. The whole point of making the mistakes is that you learn from the mistakes and you do better. So if you make a mistake, you realize, damn, that wasn't the right choice. I made a mistake. Now I'm wiser. From that mistake, I know what not to do. The problem is when you make a lot of these mistakes and you don't learn, you don't know, you don't realize, you don't grow from them, you don't learn from them. You keep doing the same shit over and over and over and over. Then that's when making mistakes is not good. So there are such things as mistakes, but the whole point of the mistake is to learn from it. You learn and you grow and you do better. So you know what to do next time. So if you keep making the same old mistake and you don't realize it's a mistake, you keep doing it, then that's a problem. That's going to hold you back. And that's not good. Let's continue.
Whatever. I'm never looking at I wasted these years with this girl. I wasted my time doing this because you know what? I learned something from that.
Yeah.
And it made me wiser.
Yeah.
Everything I did, being an older man, like you like to say, I'm wise as hell.
Yeah, you are.
Because I done been through some shit.
Yeah.
That wasted my goddamn time.
Yeah.
I think that I must speak on that too. I used to think like that, but it's too much information. We got too much information now. So when you date a bunch of people, you become damaged goods at some point.
Yes, I agree.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I agree you become damaged.
But it ain't
for
a
sure.
bunch of people. It's like, I've been a long term.
If you doing long
term.
And if you had like a major learning experience from that, it's kind of like you might cut off a certain, like, to me, like, as soon as I see some type of behavior and I don't like, I'm shutting down, it's over.
At that age
no
now,
comebacks.
yeah, after you've been through that, now you quicker with it. Then after like 1 week, 2 weeks, I'm like, yeah, you know what? I can see this going in this direction.
But you learn from those experiences that you
But you
had.
gotta
I've been a
go through
long-term,
it.
I've only had 3 guys, like long-term relationships. You know, I'm 35 years old, I'm not young. So
39.
yeah, I'm not a young girl. Obviously, I'm not a spring chicken, but I have, been in those relationships. And I do always say, like, I think it's not necessarily regret, but I need to learn to leave sooner. And that was my problem. I didn't leave sooner, and that was me. So when I have a man or someone that I'm with and I realize they might have issues, I look within myself on why I'm attracting that or what's wrong with me. It's never really about them. It's easy to vilify the people we've been with because it makes it easier to move on and to feel like we're not the bad person. But for me, it's like, what is my problem? What's wrong with me? And I think that through that work, and the healing, I don't believe anyone is fully healed. I'm going to constantly be healing and growing. I can now take accountability and be like, I see where I did that wrong.
Right.
Or I see where if someone tells me like, I don't like that you do this, babe, I'll be like, okay, give me an opportunity to correct my behavior. And if I keep doing it, then yeah. But like, I can correct myself now. And
Yeah, but I think once again, I think a lot of these women say that and they say, "Oh, I've learned I've correct," but your outcome does not show that. They still have issues with men, and they still point to all of the issues with the men. My thing is once you realize yourself and you realize what changes you need to make, you don't constantly point at men. Now it changes you because you realize, damn, I was part of the problem. Damn, I had it. You don't push the blame onto men. You can acknowledge that we both have issues, that the part of the change is you realize you don't do that. So this is how I know a lot of these women are capping because they're not fully healed, which I say we all works in progress. We're nobody's fully healed. You can always learn stuff and you can always do better. And that's both men and women. That's all of us. But I do think you could recognize whether a person has changed based on their rhetoric, based on how they talk, the way they talk, what they talk about, who they pointing the blame at. So you can't say that you've been healed and you've changed if you're still constantly blaming somebody else for your outcome. That's not an example to me of a healed person. That's not an example of a person who actually recognized their issues and their fault in things, because you realize it's not all on one person. You speak differently when you have really changed and you really have learned from your mistakes. Because once you realize it, you wouldn't be putting the blame on men. You wouldn't be pointing out men. You would point out yourself. You would start saying, you know what? I ruined the relationship style that I was in because of me. I didn't understand the nature of a man. And I always had problems with it because I didn't understand him. You start to realize how you potentially created an issue in your relationship because of you. And while you can say, you know what, he had issues too, but I caused this. I was the problem. I did this too much. So you learn. And when you learn your faults in that relationship, you do better. And so when you go into the next relationship, you come in it with a whole different approach. And that's how you end up getting what you want because you've changed that behavior. But when you still think that way, the evidence is the fact that a lot of these women are single. That every man that they meet, that come in, they show up that same way. And this is why they end up single. Because the women who learn and they talk differently, you could tell the way they talk and how they think, they end up in a relationship. They end up married. But the ones who don't, they end up by themselves because they really haven't learned. It's easy to say, oh, I've learned and I'm healed and I'm this and that, but your actions show something else, something entirely different. And that's why we see these women 30, 40, 50 years old by themselves because they have not learned. They still think that it's all about them. They still think that they're a prize. They still want a man to take them shopping, take me shopping, a man who understands who and what they are. Yeah, it's all about you. It's all about you getting a man who's going to show up for you and you don't have to show up for him. It's still the same mentality. They're not really learning. That's why it is by themselves, because men peep that game and they don't want to have nothing to do with it. Successful MD says, survey says, pogo stick life left her pookie ties. Child. Right. And thank you, Successful MD. I appreciate you. Thank you so much for the super chat. Thank you so much for the support. Hit the like button, y'all. Hit the like button. 112 people watching, 99 likes. Go ahead and hit the like button. So yeah, I just think your actions, the way you speak, you can tell the perspective of a person by how they show up and what they say. I'm not saying you should be out here saying, oh, all men are just the prize are so great. No, you will speak on more on your behavior, not somebody else's behavior, because you only can control you. You can't control what somebody else does. If they show up in a ratchet way, then you remove yourself from that. But you will speak more on your behavior, how you show up and what you've learned and what you're putting out there now. If you're still out here blaming men for everything and still putting the onus on a man, that tells me you haven't really changed much about yourself and you're just full of shit, in my opinion. Let's continue.
I can see where I'm wrong and I can see where I fucked up at. You know what I mean? And I can understand when to leave quicker in a situation that's no longer serving me or in alignment.
Before being 35,
yeah.
You're basically settling, because you said you settled, right?
I wouldn't say that I was settling, but I would say that I just, I thought that it was right for me at the time.
Did you deal with more lit niggas previously? Like, oh, you was always medium ugly, no money?
not being that
I'm
hateful.
just trying to get the research. I'm just doing
Media
intel right
learning.
now. I want
That's
this like a real
hilarious.
therapy session. I take these
No, I love
vibes
that.
to somewhere we can all learn
I love
from. You know what I'm
that.
saying?
Can you do mine too? I love that. But look,
do
dealing with
mine
this
too.
is
Go ahead,
therapy.
pass them out, y'all. Go ahead,
Therapy.
everybody.
All I need is get thick in here.
I'm crying.
Hey, Doc, we gotta go send them. Yeah, we gotta go to the store, get some champagne, get something, make it up, man, for real.
No, but what I will say
baby.
is like, yeah, historically, like I haven't been with like super famous men or anything. But
Cap.
we're okay. So
Can I pull you up on charges?
yes.
Okay, so I'm gonna tell you what men don't like, right?
Okay.
And I see you and I watch, and I'm a fan. You know what I'm saying? I watch the show or
Thank
whatever, and
you.
like you got really valid points, and like I think that you're an attractive woman. I was actually like riding with you, like yo, let's give her the benefit of the doubt because that was my manly shame weighing in on me. You know what I'm saying? Like damn, like you can't keep looking at women the same way. Like she's speaking up this and a third, but then like I seen you in a car doing a spin that shit with your ass in the air in an SUV, and I was like, damn. It's not the same person that's on the pod. You know what I'm saying? That's not the ugly man. No money. Spend what? You don't have nothing to spend on
But
you.
also too, I will say, when I go out, I will dance. I love to dance.
You went out. You was in
the
an
car.
SUV.
But the point is if I'm like I'm a
And
dancing
you put it on your gram though.
to spend that shit dance.
Yeah.
It wasn't my ass shaking though. I did not put my ass shaking on the ground.
You
Because
wasn't
trust
ass
me,
up, but you was
nah,
definitely-
they wouldn't.
you
I
was
would
giving-
never
you was
put that.
giving, like-
I was dancing. Young
like
Miami
Hadid-
posted
like
it. It
Hadid
was
and
like,
AB dancing, that
bitch,
shit. You
I
was
remember
being
you
a bad
commented
bitch.
on that.
Yeah.
Because I was like this, spend that shit. But I wasn't my body, my ass. It was literally just me like this.
But why would you promote that on your social
Well,
media?
I love that song. I can't lie to you. Spend that shit was cracking
I
because
love
that's
the
what
song
you
too,
saw.
though.
He commented on it. I was in the car and I was like, spend that shit. Spend that shit. I was dancing. Young Miami posted it. I added her. You know what I'm saying?
You want
And-
to get reposted? You
no,
trying to
I don't
call
care
out,
about
yeah.
getting reposted, please.
But
I don't care
no,
about
I'm
that.
not saying
the
that,
point,
but look-
the point is I love the song. No,
What about the man that's watching you on this platform like, yo, this is a bad bitch. This is what the definition
Okay.
of. She know what she doing. And then you go and you're having your fun. And you, because my thing is, I don't
Okay.
post nothing I do in my personal life on social
Yeah,
media. Because
okay.
I might be doing the spin that shit dance with you. I might be spending some money on you doing that shit.
Okay.
But they'll never see that. You can't contradict what the energy you putting out.
Okay, but you
like
want to
you
know?
living a double life. You 1 foot in, 1 foot out.
That's
You
not
1 foot
true.
in the dope game and 1
That's
foot
not
in the
true.
fucking
So
business.
I wasn't shaking my ass. I was sitting down. I will pull this up. Darnell, make sure in the edit I'll
Can
send
we
the
pull
video
this
to you.
up right now?
I'll send the
We need to
video
look-
to you when I
I want to
was
see
doing
this.
it. I have it.
But that's like whole behavior though. Like the whole
That's
the whole premise of the
wild. I'ma
song
show
is
it to
whole
you.
behavior,
Let's see,
right?
let's see.
Okay, so that's her, moving to the spin that shit song. Okay, y'all. So listen. I do think, once again, I think women lose out or because they don't understand men. And they think that a lot of women think the way men think is crazy. They don't see the logic in how men think. They don't want to see it. They want to be able to do what they want to do, and men just have to just acquiesce to them. A lot of women don't like the way men think. This is why you see women walking away from their marriages talking about, now I'm free to do what I want, and then you typically what they want to do is go out and screw other, raw dog other men and just be outside, and they think that's good. And their relationships and their men was holding them back from that. That's typically what a lot of women, when they think the man is trying to hold them down and hold them back and keep them from doing things. And being married or being in a relationship is holding you back from yourself, from going out here creating a bigger body count and being promiscuous. They think this is freedom to go out and be hoes, and that's the only thing that they do. They don't, nobody's holding you back from doing things you want to do but your man or who you're in a relationship, because you can't go out and just screw anybody you think is cute. This is what they want to do. This is why a lot of women who walk away from their marriages end up being big hoes, getting ran through and then thinking that they're going to get a man who's going to be better than their husbands, and they don't ever end up with that. You just get ran through. That's it. But the man, your husband was holding you back. And then after you've done that for quite some time, now you're depressed again. Said nobody loves me, and oh my God, I can't find nobody to be with me. Why? Because you messed that up. So if anything, they were keeping you from yourself. This self-empowerment and all this whole behavior is y'all bring this up on yourselves, and you think that your man was holding you back from something. No, now you free to do what you want, and you end up still depressed and messed up mentally. So I think once again, to spin that shit, people might like the song, but it is sending a certain message that if that message does not coincide with how you think, and you wouldn't be out here singing it. The message is saying, where my scamming ninjas at and spin that ish. If that doesn't resonate with who you are as a person, well, then you shouldn't be out here repeating those words, because if you're saying one thing and then you're saying that, it is a contradiction. And men, if you're a single woman out here looking for a man, he gonna look at that like, damn, okay, she's singing that. And I know women might think it's crazy, but it's the truth. They might be looking at, okay, so she support that. Oh, she down with that. Okay. So they might look at you in a certain way, and they might look at you as a walking contradiction. I know a lot of women don't like it, but y'all got to accept it for what it is, especially if you out here looking for a man. You got to look at people, look at what you, not only what you say, but what you do. So it's not only what you say, but what you do as well. And that's why they say a lot of women are contradicting themselves, because y'all say a whole bunch of you say certain things and then you do something else. You know what I mean? Let's see here. When things are going bad, all we hear is them bitching and griping about everything and nothing, but you don't hear men doing the same thing. We don't, Gerald. We don't. Devon Mitchell says, Young Bird sounds like he's trying to holler at Azar on the low, but I bet Paul pierced and already, oh my God, her cheeks. Child. It sends a toxic message that scamming is okay. Exactly, Lorenzo. Bitching and griping about everything and nothing on social media don't help anything, ladies. I agree with that. And I just think, you live with it and learn. Yeah. And I think, women are the ones who complain about everything, and they want to find other people who can relate to it. It's almost like, you're looking for that echo chamber. You're looking for, looking to trauma bond with other people to validate your feelings. And I think sometimes is done too much and it gets in the way. But I do think when you're out here, you're promoting music in a certain way, certain music that people look at that, men look at that, and they like, okay, that's what you support. I don't want to have nothing to do with somebody who think like that. I think a lot of times men are more, what's the word I'm looking for? Men are more concerned about image and all these things more than women. Men, from what I've gathered, more men are more, I don't know the word I'm looking for. I think men are more concerned and focused on being, as much as they want to talk about deadbeat fathers and they don't care. And I think there are a lot of men who care about your image, what you put out there, how they're going to appear to their children. I think there are a lot of men who are more focused on that than women. Women could just throw anything out there, shake their asses short out there, and don't care what their daughters are going to think. They don't care about their children and how they're going to see them. But there are a lot of men who are more concerned about the things you would think that the more the women are concerned about. It's crazy. Conscientious. Exactly. Men seem to be more aware and worried about the things that will matter more than the women. It's crazy. Like, you see more men are more modest, I would say, too. Men are more aware and focused on what things look like and what it is, too, but more aware that don't want to just put anything out there. They're worried about their children. They're worried about how this looks. Well, while women say, one thing and then they just throw it out, they don't care. You don't care how your children view you. You don't care what they think. They don't care. It's the opposite. This is why you have to pay attention to what people do and not just what they say. What you say is important, but what you do is even more important. Because you can say anything, but do you really live up to what you're saying? That's how I see it. How you move in these streets, how you present yourself, all of that matters. All of that matters. It's not just about what you say, because once again, people say anything, but how you move and what you do and what you prove, it has a lot more to do with who you actually are. Did you hear about a story about a mother and daughter stealing Louis Vuitton purses and posting it? I did see that, Lorenzo, and which is sad and ratchet all at the same time. And then ran to social media, and then that's how they got busted, right? Just dumb. That's the ghetto stuff that be happening out here, which is ridiculous. But I want to play another video for you guys that is even more ridiculous. And my question is, what advice? More ridiculous. Look, and I said this before. This video points to the ratchetness and the foolery of a lot of women. I did see that video, but listen to this. And I said this before, how women love prisoners. They don't have the standards that they try to hold men to. A lot of these women are ratchet. They'll do anything, and then they want people to make excuses for them. They're asking for a standard of man that they wouldn't even measure up to. And we're seeing it happen every day. But check this out. Hit the like button. Hit the like button, y'all. Here we go.
Hi, my name is Khadijah. And my question is, what advice can I give my friend who is pregnant by an inmate? A little more information. She's a CO.
Oh, hold on. We need context. What is it? Hold on. What is he in jail for?
Don't matter. He's a, well.
Fucking a CEO. All right. What did he do?
I don't necessarily know what he did.
How long he gonna be there?
He still got an hour. I'm sorry, a year and a half left.
Okay, we can make this work. How long he been in there?
8 years already.
Oh, okay. That nigga did something felonious. Dr. Bryant, love is love, right? You know how you got love after lockup? This is love during it. What do you, in this situation, what do you do?
I mean, she's pregnant at this point, right? How far along is she?
She's due in January.
Okay.
Lock the baby up too, goddamn. Lock the baby up too.
Hey.
I mean, my thing is this. He's getting out in a year and a half.
Yeah.
They've obviously have had a relationship longer than 10 months, right? Because she's pregnant and due in January. So they've been in relationship. This woman knew when she started dating this guy in jail. She knew his release date.
Yeah.
So that means that she had every intent on doing what? Being with him once he was released. And so if she really feels that way, you know, on a positive note, maybe he'll get out and he'll be able to acclimate to society and he will have a second chance and they'll be able to have a real healthy, you know, family.
What's up, Dimitri? What's up, man?
Let me tell y'all something. Listen, the thing about it is, can I be healthy for a second? Damn,
Go ahead,
I
let's
can be
be healthy,
healthy?
yeah.
Jesus. The problem is, a lot of women are in situations where niggas who's locked in other situations all the time.
Yes.
So she's with this nigga in prison. Circumstantially, he might only like her because she's available.
Yes.
So when he get out, that may not even be her nigga no more.
Yes.
That nigga's for the streets.
Hey, listen. No. We gonna talk positively about this brother. He probably been reading and shit. He probably done turned his life over.
That's a must.
Now, can I ask a question? This is a personal question just to the ladies real quick. Have you ever fantasized being fucked by an inmate? Okay. That's too far. I took it too far. That gotta be some aggressively fast sex. Like, you can't really get into that shit. You gotta make it happen. That's some crazy shit. Now, I'm gonna give you the best advice I have for this. She there already. And I'm gonna make this larger than just this situation. I just don't want y'all to continue to double down on dumb shit. There are times in your life that you know that you should put distance between you and the man that's only there to distract you. She got distracted from her fucking job by a man that can't even go to the restroom when he wants to. And I don't want to sound like I'm trying to like stab at this, but I'm saying, if a man ain't got his own freedom, how can he be the source of yours? And
girl, child.
I wish the best because there's right.
All right, I'm done with that. Shit. Like, look, the bottom line is a lot of these women don't give a damn. They don't care. They want what they want when they want it. She don't care. A lot of them don't care that he's locked up. They want a good screw. He screw good. He look good. He fine. I have seen women talk about how the best men are in prison. That shows you right there. That speaks to the Pookie and Ray Ray narrative. They don't give a damn how much money you make if you fine and if you put it on them real good. And that's why they say the best men are in jail. Telling other women, ladies, go to the prisons. I'm like, you got to be kidding me. There are literal women out here telling other women, go to the jails. Girl, your man is in prison. I'm like, if the bar is not set low, then what is? A lot of these women are lost in the goddamn sauce. I don't know what they're trying to say. Bottom line is these women will, whoever looks fine and put it on them good, they'll lose their mind and they'll do anything for them. It ain't about the money if you got what she want. If you got what she want, they don't care about the money. That's why they going to the prisons. Well, screw these men in a heartbeat. Get them raw. Oh, you know they raw dogging all day, and they loving it, and they lose their mind. You put it on raw dogging real good, they don't care what you got, who you been. You could have been raw dogging other men in there. They don't care. If you raw dog them good, he fine. You got the muscles. You know they be working out in the prison because they ain't got nothing else to do. And you see fine, and he gonna raw dog you good because he locked up. You don't care what else he was doing. That's all they give a damn about. You put your life in jeopardy, all of that, for the prison raw dog. And then they get out here and act like, oh my God, because these men do the bare minimum, act like you're special. There ain't no special shit about you whatsoever. You don't give a damn. You raw dog prisoners all day. You don't care. Then you get on social media and act like you're brand new and that you're special. No, you're not. No, it's just a talking point to look cute. No, in a heartbeat, you gonna let prison raw dog happen all day. That she don't care about all that. She gonna have that baby and can't wait for him to get out and hope that they have a relationship together. When in his mind, that's all you was a raw dog CEO, and he got what he wanted. And then we get out, he might get a few dollars from you and stay on your couch, and then he on to the next. Come on now, what y'all talking about? Them men, somebody said he in prison. What y'all expect? He gonna be nice and say what you want and raw dog you good, and that's all that. And you over here dreaming, thinking this my husband. Oh my God, he been in jail for 8 years, and he gonna be in there, and I don't know however long. And oh my God, this my husband. I found my husband in prison. You should be scared as hell, but they're not. That's all that is, child. That ain't gonna be no relationship. That man ain't talking to her because he love her. No, he wanted to raw dog her. He gonna raw dog her some more, give what he want out of her, probably steal from her. Who knows? And then he gonna keep it moving, and she gonna be left distraught. And then she gonna be on social media. These men just treat us so bad, and oh my God, they all the same. These niggas just walk away from their responsibilities because now you got a baby for him. But girl, you got pregnant by him with him in jail. He was not a responsible person from the get-go. But then you gonna act like, oh my God, all these men just bad. Come on now, you can't make it up. It's the same old scenario. They don't pick right and then blame every man for the outcomes. Like, come on now. Ray Charles could see that this wasn't a good match, but they go get babies by him and think it's okay. Then ask the questions later. Don't make no sense. Preach on, DeeDee. Thank you, Inspirational Truth. But it's the truth. These women are screwed in the head. Thank you for the super chat. I appreciate you. They're not going after the right guys. They're going after prison inmates and expecting them to turn around and be great fathers and great citizens in society and good people and doing the right things. No. And then blame every man for these choices. No, all they cared about was the raw dog. He raw dogged you good and you lost your mind. And you was willing to do anything for him, and you saw your life and your future in his hands. And thought, oh, this is my soulmate. No, it's not. Man, these chicks be tripping. I'm telling you. They really be tripping. And this is why you can't believe everything they say, because they like to lie, make all these horrible, they don't care. Women have a delusional mentality. They believe and feel they can do whatever they want. And you can't tell them nothing. This is why the truth hurts, because they know what they're doing, and then when they want to sugarcoat it and change it into something, sweeten it up, and make you think it's something that's not. No, I'm too old to fall for that. I get what it is. Reality is reality. Y'all be screwing with Pookie, Ray, prison inmates, all that. They're gonna give you the world, and they're gonna be these great husbands for you. No, when they're not, you crying, talking about all men ain't shit. You can't make it up. It's just a hot mess. It is what it is. And they on here trying to make it into, no, it ain't what it, bottom line. She knew what she was getting into. She was the CEO. She watching him. She liked what she saw. And because she liked what she saw, she went and gave it, raw dogged it, and boom, this is your outcome. What did you think? But the raw dogging was so good, she didn't care. She didn't care about her future. She don't care about the child. She don't care about none of that. She wanted what she wanted it, and that's all that matters. And that's going to be her excuse for when she raising that child by herself. Well, but she gonna leave out, or he was in prison when I met him, and oh my God, he just didn't do what he's supposed to do. The deadbeats. He was a deadbeat when you met him. Why did you think he was gonna do anything differently? Or did you think you was surprised and you was different? He gonna do something different for you? Hell no. Anyway, y'all, she got D down good, and it effed up their mind. Exactly, Joe. That's all it is. But they hate to acknowledge it after the fact. After everything, now you want to play victim like, oh my God, you was taken advantage of. No, you wasn't. If you was taken advantage of, you must be the stupidest person alive. I'm just saying. Your education didn't help you in no kind of way to realize that this man was playing you from the prison gates. Come on now. Wake up. But anyway, y'all, it's past the 2-hour mark. I'm going to go ahead and get out of here. Thank y'all so much for being here once again. I appreciate each and every one of you guys. Hit the like button on your way out, you guys. Make sure you are supporting the channel via super thanks, and also make sure you turn on your notification bell to be notified when I upload new content, y'all. Stay tuned for more. I post videos every single day, so make sure you are watching the videos that are posted and get the likes up on those videos as well. But thank y'all once again for being here. Shout out to everybody who gave a super chat or a cash app. I appreciate you so much. That definitely helps the channel to grow. Hit the like on your way out, you guys. Stay tuned for more, and I will catch y'all in the next one. Y'all be safe out here in these streets. I will catch you in the next one. Mwah. I'll see y'all later. Bye.
You laugh and my heart chokes. Like Midas, everything you touch turns gold. You dance in the hallway like nobody's told. You say my name so softly, like it's a little word. Yeah, every time you're near me, all my doubts get blurred. You take my day, turn it bright, brand new. Every look you give says I choose you. I get you more than anybody ever could. You get me. In a way I never understood it. Every little smile, every little move you do. Ooh, baby, I don't need a reason. I just know. I get it's all about your dreams, eyes wide, shining clear. And you tell the wildest stories I could listen for years. And you roll your eyes and kiss me when I'm stubborn and proud. You pull me back to center when my thoughts get loud. You take my fear, turn it into truth. Every time you touch me, I remember you. I get more than anybody ever could. You get me, in a way I never understood. Every little smile, every little move you do. Ooh, baby, I don't need a reason. I just know. I just know I get. When the world feels heavy on my shoulders, you lean in, lay your head right over mine. You say we can carry this together, and just like that, I'm fine. Oh, I'm fine. I just know I get you.
It's DeeDeesReactions. It's DeeDeesReactions. I hope you enjoy the show. subscribe.